There we go. All right. From a sunny Broman Field, welcome to today's broadcast of high school football as the Blue Devils will be playing host to the Courtland Cougars on a rare Saturday that's not a postseason game, and on a rare day recently when there's actually sunshine, Steve.
Exactly.
I'm Mark O'Connell alongside Steve Peacock, Johnny Krawchuk behind the camera. Today, it's Courtland taking on Culpeper on a sunny Saturday, September 28. Welcome aboard, Steve. What are your thoughts about today's game?
Well, kind of glad they're playing it here versus the turf field at Courtland, which gives them the advantage. So with all the rain, the field looks good, but it is kind of sloppy out there. So I think that gives them an advantage to Culpeper and see if they can use that to their advantage. The other thing is going to be Courtland's tough. They always play everybody hard, but they're especially good this year. You just got to make sure on that wing attack that they use offense is that Culpeper defense has got to find that football.
All right, well, Courtland comes into the game 2-1 overall. This will be their first conference game. They lost to North Stafford 41-7. They beat Louisa 37-20, and they beat Orange County in the season opener 44-14. So one thing about Courtland that we always know, Steve, is that they have the returning head coach in J.C. Hall, and they're on the wing T on offense. And so the wing T was something that a lot of offenses used years ago. Courtland stays with it, and we'll get a chance to see it in a few minutes. Right now we'll pause for the playing of our national anthem. We're moments away from today's kickoff to start things here. Like I say, on a sunny Saturday afternoon. Beautiful day at Broman Field. Mark O'Connell, Steve Peacock, Johnny Krawchuk with you on behalf of the Culpeper Media Network. Steve, we were just talking about the Courtland Cougars and perennial coach J.C. Hall, who played at Courtland High School back in the 80s and was the team's quarterback when they won their last state championship. And I don't think that's changed. Not only that, but when we think of Courtland, we also think of the wing T offense. What kind of problems in particular does the wing T pose for opposing defenses?
Basically, it's a misdirection offense. Mm-hmm. You got to find the football. With that wing T, you're going to have a quarterback plus three other backs in the backfield. So it's key for our linebackers to make sure they locate the football. And our D-line, gets off and, don't not let Portland's offensive line take over.
Very well said. And I like your assessment about that wing T offense and how it does pose unique problems for opposing defenses. Assignment football, don't get caught up in the misdirection, that sort of thing. That's easier said than done. But here's the thing, Steve. When you think about all the rain that we've had, I know that the field is soggy. It could very well slow down Courtland and help Culpeper.
Yeah, I think it can. But they're going to have to play disciplined football. And if anybody knows Courtland better than Coach Eric Sherry, who's coached against him when he was at Massaponax, him and J.C. Hall are very familiar with each other. They're friends. But it's going to be interesting.
Okay, well, we've got team captains meeting in the center of the field right now for both teams, left to right for the Blue Devils. Number 15 is Dalton Butler. Number 2, Garrett Damewood. Number 8, Griffin Tanner. And number 11, R.J. Uribe. Well, it looks like number 8 there, Griffin Tanner, is not suited up to play, so obviously out with an injury. Here's the toss, and I'm thinking Culpeper may. Let's see what the thing is. What do you want to do, Steve? You want your offense or your defense out there first?
I want my offense out there going against this wing T.
Do you? Okay. And you want to think ball control with sustaining drives and working methodically. That's an ideal scenario for Culpeper, who won the toss but deferred. And that means Courtland will be receiving the opening kickoff here momentarily. All right, well, let's take a look at those battlefield standings, Steve. Thursday night, Eastern View beat Caroline 42-21. So Eastern View is now 2-0 in the conference and 3-1 overall. Caroline 1-1 in the conference, 3-1 overall. And now Courtland, which is 2-1, and Culpeper both 2-1. Culpeper has a district loss already. Courtland does not. So it's a big game for both teams.
It is a big game, and Courtland, in my opinion, has been tested more than Culpeper on their schedule. Their only big loss was to North Stafford, and of course Eastern View goes to North Stafford next Friday night for that game. But this thing right now, I think, everyone says defer and get the ball right after halftime. Other people, I like when their offense is a wing T or some offense you don't see a lot. Mm-hmm. I'd rather go on the field first, okay, and test their defense and see what they got before we come back on offense, because you don't want to give any momentum to this Courtland squad. Then they become like sharks after blood and water.
Yeah, and so one of the things that we're going to struggle with today is perhaps sometimes finding that football with the way the field is marked. However, Steve, the good news is that on the Courtland sidelines, you can see that the numbers are up. Okay. That will assist us some. RJU Rebay will be handling the opening kickoff for the Blue Devils. And they come in with a record of 2-1. They opened the season with a loss to Eastern View in the Cannonball Classic. Then they beat Fauquier 21-17. We were at that game. Then last week they've defeated Meridian, which is formerly George Mason. They defeated Meridian, the Mustangs, 30-22. So the Blue Devils are riding a 2-game winning streak. How about that?
It is good, and like I said, they've already equaled their wins from last season. So,
all right, again, RJ Uribe will be kicking off for the Blue Devils. And here is this kick. We are underway on this sunny Saturday afternoon. This ball gets over the intended target there, and it goes out of bounds. And I guess that'll be a penalty on the play.
Yep, they'll bring it out to the 35, I believe, or the 30.
Yeah,
35.
And here comes Courtland. Steve, check out that lineup. Already I'm looking at some pretty good size on that from the linemen.
Yeah, they do, and they're getting some college looks too. Big number 44. And the other one right beside him, big number 79. There's some big boys right there.
Yeah, it is at the 35, Steve. That's where this wing T will get started here on this opening possession, first quarter action at Broman Field. And we'll check out our starting players as we can. Well, again, the Cougars will take over from the 35. Hand off to the big fellow there over that right side, and he made a cut back. That's Christian Olivella. Well, Steve, the reason Christian Olivella is a familiar name to us is because he's been playing well for Courtland, and now this is his senior year.
He sure has. We've seen him, past 2 seasons. And like I said, they got first, on second down, they got second and short. They just went right behind the big tackle, number 44 on the outside.
So a pickup of 9 yards on first down. It's second down and 1 for the Cougars. And check out some of these starters. We saw different players working out in practice as far as. All right, this is going to be a run. Number 15 to the outside. Gets a block. Still on his feet. Goes down the far sidelines. Cuts back and he's tackled. That is Kamari Lawton with the huge gainer for Courtland, Steve.
Yeah, it was a good run right there. Again, the misdirection is going to cause problems. And right there, Culpeper did not do a good job of finding the football. And they let these guys get, you just give them a crease mark, they're going.
Well, let's check just where this ball is marked, Steve. It's not up on the scoreboard yet. They've got it at the 44. That's not the 44. Let's move it back and see if we can count. Oh, here we go. Looks like they put it at the 12.
Yep.
All right. Let's check these players. Under center, Chieftain Watson, number 7, handing off. Running back straight ahead, number 2. That's Christian Olivella.
And like you said, they're going to see a big dose in number 2 today. And again, Mark, they're getting big yards off on the running game off. There's Culpeper has got to, defensively, that defensive line has got to play good.
All right, they have it marked. And we're going to get some assistance from these guys doing the scoreboard and the public address announcers because we need the assistance with the vision. They have the ball now marked at the 3-yard line where it is 2nd and goal from that spot. This is a Courtland Cougar offense on the move. The drive, it started at their own 35. They go back to the run. Straight ahead they go. Runs into a wall, going to be a little shy. It looks like of a touchdown. Portland players think he got it, but the official says, I don't think so. It's right there, right at the nose of the football, right at that goal line. But looks like it's going to be a first down there.
Now see what the defensive line can do and see if we can get a stop in the backfield.
All right, so it'll be 1st and goal now from the 1-yard line for the Courtland Cougars. 9:45, you can see the clock there, ticking away here. First quarter action. Courtland on the move. Good chance to score first here.
Draw first blood.
And they do have, you look at this team, Steve, up front. Courtland certainly has some size up there, don't they? That
They
right
sure
tackle.
Do. They sure do.
Yeah, the center. Hand off again, looking into the end zone. He gets there. It is number 2, Christian Olivella. And a penalty flag comes in after the play, but that's touchdown Courtland, their opening possession.
See what the flag's about.
Right now, 5 plays, 65 yards, and 2 minutes and 40 seconds elapsed on that drive.
Flag on the play.
Fellow in the white hat there looking to give us a signal here, I hope, momentarily.
Why does he have to go all the way across the field to talk to the coach?
That's a good question. We got another official over there chatting with the coach.
Right. We were saying, he was just doing his arms like this. He was taunting, I think they're going to say, unsportsmanlike.
All right.
Against Courtland, but that would be just on the kickoff.
Yeah, if that's what the call is. I'll tell you what, as we're waiting for it, we'll tell you this broadcast, that localsportshistory.com is the community sports site that you are building organically. Check out local sports information or contribute your submissions at localsportshistory.com. All right, let's check it here. Here comes the man in the white hat. What's the signal? Well, we want one. Dead ball foul. Yep, personal foul.
After the play.
Is this player ejected,
Personal
Steve?
foul
Was that the signal?
against the
It's
Cougars.
against Courtland.
Yep.
Player has been ejected from the game.
Yeah, that looked like an ejection signal to me.
He was punching him. I wonder who it is.
Well, it would be a big blow to Courtland if it was number 2, Christian Olivella, who scored on that play. All right. Touchdown stands, of course. Now they're on for the point after. And the kick is good. 7-0 our score. 9:20 to play first quarter action. So Courtland took over first down, first possession from its own 35-yard line. Steve, 5 plays, 65 yards. They used 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Oliveira rushed in from 1 yard out. The point after was good, but if Olivella is ejected, that would be a huge penalty, a huge price to pay if you're the Courtland Cougars for that opening touchdown.
But now you go on Culpeper's side, you got the defense reeling right there. I'd be the defense coordinator. I'd be meeting my defense and say, hey, look, we're giving too much gap, on the line of scrimmage. Let's tighten that up a little bit. And the linebackers got to find that football, and they got to get there quick.
Exactly. Well, this broadcast brought to you in part by Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. All right, our score, Courtland 7, Culpeper nothing. We've got to see Culpeper on offense, however. But with that unsportsmanlike penalty, they now mark it off against this kickoff team. And they'll be kicking from the 25-yard line. So, barring a miscue, odds are the Blue Devils should have excellent field position when they send their offense out on the field for the first time here, Steve.
Now, offensively, let's see if Culpeper can get going against Courtland.
I'm going to have. Now here's the kickoff. It's a short kick. This one will be fielded near the 30-yard line.
Garrett Dingwood takes it to 30.
Coming back this way, this looks like Garrett Damewood on the return, Steve. He got into Courtland territory.
Courtland 46-yard line.
Mark.
Yeah, that is Damewood. Steve, I got to go talk to a couple fans.
Okay.
Yeah, keep it going.
Right now, what Culpeper's got to do defensively, they're going to, offensively, they're going to have to exploit the weaknesses of Courtland's defense. So hopefully we can get going on offense and see if we can get, see what style of running play he's going to run.
All right. Had to make an adjustment in the stands for the visibility factor, Steve.
All right.
All right, here's Culpeper on offense and excellent field position from the Courtland 46 goes Culpeper. Quick strike near side, Garrett Daywood, unable to hang on. Incomplete pass, brings up second down.
And I wanted to say, Mark, that Damewood, he's a competitor. You watch him how he plays. He's not big, but he's a competitor. And I like how he, goes about. He's nothing flashy. He just does his job.
Yeah. He's been really kind of a spark plug, hasn't he?
Yes.
And now he, with his teammate there, Dalton Butler and Caleb Green, they go wide right here on 2nd and 10. Jeremiah Johnson, your quarterback. Riley Vineyard wears number 34. He's behind Jeremiah Johnson. They give it to Riley Vineyard straight ahead. He makes one guy miss. He ran through that tackle, Steve, and picked up first down yardage. There's another guy you like for his grit and determination and a straight ahead north-south runner.
Mark, let's go to replay on that one. You can see Riley Vineyard just runs over that Courtland defender and picks up a vital first down.
That almost reminded me of that Larry Zonka fellow. You remember him?
The Zonk.
The bulldozer,
Yep.
bruising Larry. Zonka?
Mercury Morris.
Mercury Morris recently died.
Yeah,
he was in the same backfield with Zonka and Jim Kick on that famous 72 Dolphins team. All right, here's a first down for the Blue Devils at the Cougar 32. Johnson going to throw. This one dropped. And then did he have possession? Courtland says it's a turnover and a fumble to them. Do the officials agree? I didn't think he had possession.
I didn't think he had possession of it, but I think they're going to give it to him.
It was, I believe it was Damewood on the reception, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. And
but I did not believe he had possession. But it is going to be considered a turnover on the fumble. Ball goes back to the Courtland Cougars.
Yeah, that's not good. I question that call of the officials because he didn't. To me, did he make a football move? Did he catch the ball and then turn? If he did, that's a football move. Fumble. But I thought he was getting ready to turn and he dropped it.
Yeah. 35, 37. Got the ball at the 37. Does Courtland. The Blue Devils were in position, Steve, to make some noise after that run by Riley Vineyard. It put them down to the Courtland 33. Turnover takes that opportunity away, and now Courtland back on offense, straight ahead the ball carrier. This time it runs into a stone wall of navy blue jerseys, and he's pushed back. And that was Marcus LaRue, the ball carrier for Courtland.
And Mark, I think you were right. I think Oliveira has been tossed. He's not in that starting lineup. I think he got tossed.
And again, I know he's not the only good player on this Courtland team, but he's a senior. We've been calling his name now for 3 or 4 seasons. And he's been a factor. He has scored touchdowns when we've played against him. So, he's definitely one of their star players. That's a blow to Courtland. But, we'll see about that next man-up mentality for this team.
Exactly.
All right. From the 37-yard line, or make it the 38, rather, it's 2nd down and 9. Courtland, you can see the line score there up 7-0 with that much time to play in the first quarter. Back to the run they go, and running into the defender. And I believe that was Jossie Shiflett who made the initial hit on the ball carrier and held him to a very short gain. It's going to bring up 3rd and long.
3rd and long. Let's see if Culpeper can get some pressure here on this quarterback. I'd be seeing it, first off, got to find a run. If he's going with the pass, get some pressure on him and see if they can get the ball back. And because they were driving on offense, it's just that, debatable fumble or catch.
Not a lot of size up front for the Blue Devils, Steve, but that's where you have to have Good footwork, don't you?
You have good footwork and quickness.
Mm-hmm.
You can beat a bigger team if you don't let them lock on you. If you can beat them, knock their hands down, and get by them.
All right, here's a little misdirection, and the give to.
Right side.
Here's a running back who gets into the pack and to the open field, picks up yardage he probably shouldn't have got, and that was Kalan Jean-Paul Perry.
Mark, that's poor tackling right there in East View. You can see it. What he did was they had him stopped in the backfield.
Yep.
That was an arm tackle, miss. Then he gets up and the rest of the Blue Devil defense is pursuing, but he's just like a bull in the china shop, just knocking defenders off because they did not make a tackle there, using poor fundamentals on that play.
Ended up giving up 21 yards on that run. And now the Cougars have a first down at the Blue Devils' 40-yard line.
And just then when the Blue Devils had an opportunity to get off the field and get their offense back on, if you got to have everybody doing their job on defense.
Approaching that midway mark of this first quarter, 7-0. Courtland after that big run. 1st and 10, Blue Devil side of midfield. We're going to have a penalty that's going to work against Courtland, and we'll tell you that this broadcast brought to you in part by Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. 540-547-3673. And Fountain Sons, more than a respected funeral home, they support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Fountain Sons, 825-3530. All right, mark off the 5 yards there, pushes the ball back to the 45-yard line where it is. First down and 15. Handoff again. This is the big fella there. This is Marcus LaRue over that left side. Not much doing, maybe a couple yards. So right now, Steve, Blue Devils doing a pretty good job against the runs, except for that one long gainer.
Yep, you're right. And then, of course, the penalty has helped the Blue Devils, too. It's against Courtland. But, again, I like what they're doing on defense. They just got to just do their fundamentals. You'll stop this team.
2nd down and 9 from looks like the 39 of Culpeper. All right, this is a handoff again, trying to get to the outside, but cannot escape the grasp of number 22. That's Mason Elkins, isn't it? It is Mason Elkins.
That's a good play. We haven't called his name a lot so far this season. He made a good tackle right there.
He sure did, and a good solo tackle, and he was able to stop the running back in his tracks and actually give him a yard loss on the play. Brings up 3rd down and 10, or actually 11 rather, from the 41.
Let's see what.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, defensively here, you want to go after, stop them. Don't give up this 3rd and long. Find that football and make the tackle.
3 receivers to the right. Quarterback stepping up, throwing downfield. This one batted down. That's nice coverage, defensive work out there. And again, I think it was that number 22 or number 11? Who's getting the congratulations?
It was 21, I thought.
No, it was either 11.
It's 22.
Or 22, Mason Elkins. So R.J. Uribe was out there in
Let's give
coverage
credit
as well.
to both of them.
Yeah.
Now, that was a good play, good recovery, because he was beat.
Yes. Exactly right. Had that one step on him, and the defender made up the ground, batted it away. Brings up the 4th down and 9 for the Cougars. They have the ball at the Blue Devil 41, it looks like, from here. It looks like we have a timeout taken by Courtland. Well, our timeout sponsor this season is UVA Community Credit Union, strengthening the financial health of our members and of the Culpeper community. UVAcreditunion.org. All right, 4:13 to play.
14, this one's for you. Things like 10 years ago.
45, 40, 41. I see the ball at the 41, Steve. What do you see it?
Same thing.
Clock's got it at 46. I don't think it's right. I think that midfield, the midfield's right here at 50, 45, 40, 41. Yeah. But anyway, it's going to be after the timeout. It's going to be 4th down and 11. for the Courtland Cougars when they come back leading 7-0. So we mentioned that Christian Olivella had the game's opening score, but he had the unsportsmanlike penalty and was tossed from this game. So, you know, big blow for Courtland. Let's see what happens here on 4th down.
Yeah, it's a big blow, like you said, but that their replacement isn't doing bad. He's a good size, too, so.
Yep, Marcus LaRue, number 3, is in there for Courtland in the backfield. It's like number 7, Chieftain Watson, is the quarterback. He rolls to his right and throws on the run. This one over the outstretched hands of the intended receiver, and he was open there in the flat, Steve, and he didn't get the ball to him, and so Courtland turns it over on downs. The intended receiver was number 15, Kamari Lawton.
That was a good play by the defense. They got a little bit of pressure, forced the Courtland quarterback to roll out. And you're right-handed and rolling to the right. That's a tough throw to make. In other words, being accurate with it. And then you saw that where the ball just sailed over the receiver's head.
So Culpeper takes over with excellent field position, starting at its own 41-yard line. And this time Jeremiah Johnson will send 2 receivers to the left. Danewood now comes in motion the other way. Riley Vineyard gets the call. He's looking for some running room, trying to break that block, or break the tackle rather. Unable to do so, but he did push forward for a yard gain on the play.
Another classic run by Riley Vineyard. I mean, he's just you wish he was 4 or 5 inches taller.
Yeah.
Everyone would be looking at him.
Be tempted to call him the Moose, man.
Yep.
Moose.
Moose.
All right.
Riley the Moose.
Yeah. All right, on 2nd and 9 now, Jeremiah Johnson. Again, 3 receivers to the left. One top of your screen. Johnson, quick throw here to Garrett Danewood, trying to get on track and does. He's across midfield, Courtland territory. He will have enough for a Blue Devil first down. And Steve, you've talked about Garrett Danewood earlier in the broadcast, and for good reason.
Yeah, they showed it right there, Mark. He made a short swing pass out to Danewood, and he turned around and got to the corner and turned it upfield. Good yards after the catch.
This broadcast brought to you in part by CFC Farm and Home Center, supplying your lawn and garden, pet and farm needs since 1932. Hometown pricing and outstanding service at CFC Farm and Home Center, 825-2200. Incomplete pass on first down brings up 2nd and 10, stops the clock, 3:23 remaining first quarter action. You can see Courtland on top 7-0. Both teams with a turnover in this game. And the big story right now is that the person who owns the touchdown is also out of the game.
Yeah.
Christian Olivella.
Yeah, last play, it looked like it misread by the 2 receivers. They were real close together. And that was just kind of bad route running right there.
On 2nd down. Back to Riley Vineyard. Straight ahead. Picking up positive yards. He got inside the Courtland 45 to the 43, it looks like.
Yeah, you're right. I was getting ready to say, a few yards of cloud of dust, but can't say cloud of dust. Probably a few yards in mud.
Say probably not going to get any dust for a while, right?
Yeah, some mud balls.
All right. Okay, ball at the 44 of Courtland, where it is 3rd down and 6. You see the time remaining there. Here in this first quarter. Danewood, the man in motion, gets the pitch. Goes across the left side, dragged down about 2 yards shy of a first down at the 40-yard line of Courtland.
Now it's decision time here for the Blue Devils.
I think you go for it. I think the fellow, that Moose fellow, Riley Vineyard fellow.
I would even play action him and maybe look for Caleb Green or Alvarado out there on the wings. So see what happens.
Alvarado had that big catch the last game we called. And number 15, Dalton Butler, goes top of your screen wide right. Like Caleb Green, left side in the slot. Vineyard gets the call. Vineyard bounces away from one defender, stiff arms another, and he is just a determined effort, and Vineyard is going to get that first down. But Steve, and there's a penalty flag at the end of the play there, and Vineyard is holding his right leg.
Yeah, he's hurt, and there came a flag, late hit. And did you see Vineyard lay waste with that stiff arm?
Yeah. Here he comes to the sideline. But what a nice run by Vineyard. They had 2 opportunities to stop him, and he refused to go down until he got the first down yardage.
Well, let's see what the penalty is.
Now, there is a penalty at the end of that play, and I'm guessing it was going to be a late hit, but I could be wrong. It may be a bad block.
Yeah, it could be a block in the back against Culpeper. That would negate this first down, and I don't see him moving the chains yet, so they're still discussing it. There might be 2 flags, holding and late hit, penalties offset.
All right, you know that man in the white hat?
Time to get to know you.
Not by name, right? But he's going to make the call here in just a second.
He's just nonchalantly taking his time.
Yeah, he's just having a great time out there,
Well,
Steve. You can tell with the swagger.
Holding.
So you got a holding against Culpeper.
First penalty is a hold.
And then you got the dead ball, personal foul against Courtland. See, that's what I saw.
Yeah.
Is I thought maybe a late hit.
Personal foul goes against the Cougars.
And it's first down, but let's see where they actually put the ball down.
My question is, how come they don't offset?
Well, you know, and I was just thinking, well, one's dead ball.
That's right, dead ball.
Maybe that's the thing. Let's see where it is. 50, 45, 40, 35-yard line. And for Culpeper, it also means a new set of downs.
Well, Vineyard got the first down with his effort and everything, but
did.
They got lucky with Courtland hitting him late out of bounds.
All right, from the 35. Here comes pressure, and they toss it. Running back there. Looks like number 5, Jaquarius Williams. First time he's got the call today, and he lost about 4 yards. And that one never really did develop, did it?
No, it didn't. He didn't. That's a classic case right there of your running back outrunning his blockers, which he did. I mean, he fast running back, but there was no blocks out there because they were behind him.
Yeah, and sometimes there really is something to waiting on a block, right?
Right.
Yeah. All right, lost 4 yards, 2nd and 14. Clock ticking, you can see it there. Our score, 7-0. Johnson's got time. He's airing it out downfield. Got a little pushing off there and jockeying for position as the pass is incomplete. And that was intended for number 28, who also, he's ward number 13, Khalid Murray, number 28.
And Murray was open at first, but what happened there, Johnson got a nice arm, but he put too much air under that ball. That allowed the defender to recover and basically contest that ball. He's got to put a little bit, just drop that angle a little bit.
Well, this is a big third down right here, Steve, because I don't know if you're in 2-down territory, and they've got the ball at the Courtland 39, but they've got 3rd and 14 here. All right, here's Johnson. Looks right, throws left. Going up for it, incomplete, and you do not see a penalty flag there in double coverage, trying to get it to number 7, Gavin Alvarado.
And see, that's where the quarterback, Mark's got to read. If he's reading double coverage, that means somebody on the other side, Caleb Green's got single, man-to-man. Go through your progressions. Look that off. Go to another option.
And now 4th down and 14. Will the Blue Devils punt this one away? It's going to depend on who's in there, right?
Yeah, waiting on a friend.
Waiting on a lady. Waiting on a friend. Oh, Mick Jagger?
Yep.
The Stones. All right, here it is. 4th down. They go for it. Little play action. Now throwing. You got Caleb Green near side. Caleb Green fighting for yardage. Steve is going to be close to a Blue Devil first down. Let's check the spot.
Well, see, I love that play call right there to Caleb Green. He's got a smaller guy on him.
Look at this. They're moving the sticks, T.
Yep.
The chain gang is on the move. So
right.
Jeremiah Johnson converts on 3rd and 14 by finding Caleb Green, and Green got a few yards after the catch, and he needed every one of them.
He did, and it was a good catch. He went up and high pointed that ball, and then was able to turn around and pick up the first down.
Steve, it was 3rd and 14. He picked up 15, balls at 24. It's 1st and 10. But again, effort by Green after that catch to keep this Blue Devil drive going. Riley Vineyard gets a call off left tackle. There was a crease there for him to go through, and they wrestled him to the ground at about the 20, maybe the 19. But Riley Vineyard, what an effort by him, Steve. Remember when he ran on the outside, they had 2 defenders trying to bring him down. He just powered his way through the blocks, got that big first down, and then this run here for about 70 yards.
And he went and hit the big number 79, and I mean, and Vineyard didn't. That 79 knew he had his hands full with Vineyard. Scott got about 6 inches, but Vineyard's such a tough runner.
2nd down and 3 now from the 17. Johnson gives it to Garrett Damewood. Damewood headed to the end zone. Looks like he's going to be a little shy. He wants the touchdown celebration. There's a flag down at the 5-yard line as well. He got down to about the 1.
Right. This might be coming back. Yeah, this would be bad for Culpeper. I mean, they had the momentum. If this could be a block in the back or could be defensive holding. Let's see.
Holding penalty goes against the Blue Devils.
Yeah, holding.
Well, what have you said about penalties and mistakes will kill you every time?
It sure would. I mean, especially on this drive. Now, they've been beneficiary of Courtland's penalties too, but this was a bad one. This was going to be inside the 1. All they had to do was just fall, and they would have had a touchdown. Now it's backed up near the 20.
You'd have been warming up your vocal cords.
Yeah, excuse me, near the. Yep.
All right, here's the holding against the Blue Devils. Now they bring it back. Let's check the spot. And it looks like it's going to be the 17.
Yep.
Second down. I need to get to
Second down after the penalty.
Well,
Blue Devils still
they don't have that other marker
up the
up,
yard on the
Steve.
play.
Yeah. Well, let's say 2nd and 3. Riley Vineyard, the ball carrier. They're going to stop him short.
Going left side.
But it's a manageable 3rd down, I believe, unless he lost yardage. Well, it's going to be about 3rd and 4.
All right,
And there's the end of the, that's the signal that sounds, or the sound that signals the end of the first quarter. We're 1 quarter into the books here with our score, Cougars 7, Blue Devils nothing. We'll take a quick break and come back for the start of the second right after this. Keep it right here on the Culpeper Media Network. You're watching Blue Devils football.
This broadcast is made possible by the generosity of our community sponsors.
Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. CFC Farm and Home Center, supplying your lawn and garden, pet and farm needs since 1932. Hometown pricing and outstanding service at CFC Farm and Home. Found in Sons Funeral Home, Culpeper's perpetual best of the best for resources, planning, and support for our entire community. Battlefield Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford, proudly serving the Culpeper community for over 20 years. State-of-the-art service departments and over 22 acres with hundreds of new and pre-owned vehicles. Battlefield Automotive. Nominations are now being accepted for the local area sports Hall of Fame. Nominate anyone that you feel is deserving of historical local sports recognition at localsportshistory.com/HOF.
All right. Well, welcome back to our broadcast. We are set to start the second quarter at Broman Field on this sunny Saturday in the fall. Beautiful day for football, beautiful day for a lot of things. And as we start this second quarter, the Blue Devils are in possession. They face a 3rd and 3 at the Courtland 16. And it's 7-0 in favor of the Cougars. Here's Johnson on the pitch, coming near side. This is Caleb Green, I believe. It is Caleb Green. He's going to need a few more yards to keep this drive going.
Yeah, he didn't get the corner.
Can't quite get there.
Yeah, couldn't find the edge on that one.
Now it's 4th down. What do you do? Field goal?
Well,
4th down for the Blue Devils.
I don't think so. I don't think you're quite in range here. I could be wrong.
But you also got to think about the footing.
Footing. You think now you're thinking field position as well. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got the ball up to 20. Usually that's
37.
yeah. Well, I mean it is,
Yeah.
but I'm thinking that if you don't get it here, you haven't given up a lot in terms of field position.
Exactly.
All right, they fake it to Vineyard. Now they throw. This one thrown behind the intended receiver, and that was intended for Garrett. Let's see. Make that. Pick up his number, Steve. It's number 6. Oh yes, Jossie Shiflett.
Yeah, he
Intended for Shiflett.
Yeah,
So
I like the play call, but the timing was off just a little bit. That throw has to get on something like that, and you're that close. You're inside the red zone. That ball's got to come out hot. You just can't lob it in there because you're giving the defense in time to close.
all right. Well, Courtland takes over from the turnover on downs, and the Cougars will have it. 1st and 10 from their own 20. They lead 7-0. Opening minute here of this second quarter. The touchdown scored early by Christian Olivella. The point after was good. Olivella was tossed. He's out of the game. Courtland, back to the run they go. This is Laquan Chu. Makes a cut, turns upfield, got good yardage, gets across the 40-yard line, out to about the 42. And Caleb Green in on the tackle for Culpeper. It's a big gainer of about 20 yards.
And Mark, that's what Culpeper can't give up. Big chunks of yardage on running plays. You know, granted, Courtland's not a big passing team, but you give up running plays like that, chewing up a yardage, chews up clock, and they're ahead. And right now, Culpeper's just got to do a better job tackling. When you get a helmet on somebody, wrap them up. I say that every game, but never.
I know what you mean. Yeah. All right. 1st and 10, Courtland from its own 42. Chieftain Watson, number 7, under center. Handing off, running back, going nowhere, stopped immediately. Trying to see who that is, Steve. Can you pick up the number? God, it's so hard to see.
Number 59, Cameron Martinez gets in there.
Number 7, I believe.
On that right side. Yeah. It's just so hard to see here.
Well, it's all the rain they've had. And
anyway, no gain on the play. 2nd and 10, Courtland from its own 42. That's the Courtland break, the Cougars breaking huddle there. Remember, they run the wing T. At wing back there is number 4, Laquan Chu. They don't go to him. They go to a guy who comes off left tackle, breaks the tackle, turns upfield, and then body slammed at the Culpeper 45-yard line. And the running back there was, Steve, if is that number 2?
It's 2, maybe.
No.
It's back, yeah.
Unless, or is that the jersey number covered? Because we were saying Olivella. No, he's in there.
He's in there. So
it was not. I stand corrected. Christian Olivella was not tossed. He's in the game. We believe someone was ejected, but it was obviously not him.
Yep. Our bad.
Ball at the Culpeper 45, where it's 1st down and 10 for the Cougars. So Olivella is in the game. He's number 2, rather. Chieftain Watson, number 7, under center. And he hands off. This is Chu, the ball carrier. They drag him down behind the line of scrimmage. Good penetration that time by the Blue Devils. I know number 21, Tyler McKnight, was in on the tackle. There's a penalty flag in the back pier. And, oh, wow, that's going to a horse collar tackle against Culpeper. Steve, that'll cost him.
I know 15. I didn't see it.
I didn't either.
I mean, it looked like a legit tackle to me.
All right, as a, mark this one off. Localsportshistory.com is the community sports site that you are building organically. Check out sports information or contribute your submissions at localsportshistory.com. All right, after that penalty assessment, the ball will now be at the 38, it looks like.
Yeah. I believe in being good host, but now Culpeper
38. Culpeper 38.
I believe in good host, but Culpeper right now is not holding the job.
Yep. Checking in. Back in the lineup, number 22, Mason Elkins.
Out for number 2 is coming out.
Garrett Damewood.
This is taking a long time.
What is the delay all about?
This is really taking a long time. I guess they're trying to figure out where the ball is. They're saying that it was an illegal tackle, horse collar, from the line of scrimmage. It's plus 15. I don't know how difficult that is, even though it's a bad call. But
well, they've moved it from the 38 down to the 33. Even better field position for the Courtland Cougars.
Yeah.
They have a new set of downs. 1st and 10 from the Blue Devil 33. This is Watson under center. And here's that running back off that right side. Comes across from the right. Over across the left side of that line. That's number 15, Kamari Lawton. Some of these jerseys are getting pretty muddy at this point, Steve.
Yep, it's a muddy field. But right there, Culpeper, again, I thought they had it stopped. The linebacker was in on it. But again, you got to find the football. That misdirection and that little cut right up in the middle inside there, they made the Culpeper defender slip.
Yeah, 2nd down and 6 now for Courtland. Chu in motion. Penalty flag down. This should cost Courtland 5.
Penalty on the play.
And they were going to throw it too, because number 8 out there for Courtland was wide open.
And that's Kalon Jean-Paul Perry.
Second down.
You know him, don't you?
Jean-Paul.
Kalon Jean-Paul Perry.
French.
His last name may actually be pronounced Perry,
Perry.
but Jean. Kalon Jean-Paul
Now,
Perry.
don't be surprised here if Courtland goes back to the same play. If they can get that man-to-man opportunity. Now, Caleb Green's out there.
2nd and 11 here. Cougars from the Blue Devil 34, 7-0. You can see the score there. That's the time remaining in the second quarter. Watson, play action, rolls to his right, dumps it off, short field catch by the receiver there, number 15. Kamari Lawton gets to the outside. He'll be shy of a Courtland first down. Going to bring up 3rd down and about 4.
I believe, was Green in on that tackle or 7? Jossie Schiffler, I couldn't.
Yeah, it's hard to see it from here. Well, I'll tell you, this broadcast brought to you in part by Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. You know, Courtland takes its time in the huddle, doesn't it, Steve?
Yeah, they do.
Not
They're old school.
They are. They're really not in a hurry.
You know, they're dominating. They marched pretty well between the 20s.
Yeah, they go back to the run.
Handoff left side. First man there is number.
It's just Culpeper's got to tighten up when they get into the red zone.
Yeah, it was Christian Olivella, the ball carrier. Picked up positive yards, brings up a 4th and short, and the ball now at the 24.
And you really want to know how a player's playing in a game like this. If you see a lot of mud in their jersey, they're giving you maximum effort.
You better believe it. As they take their time.
Big 4th down
In that
play.
huddle.
Help 'em out, crowd.
4th down and 1.
Defense needs to hear you.
And I am seeing the ball at the 24-yard line, Steve.
Yep,
Where are you seeing it?
same thing.
Chu in motion. He stops. Lines up as that wing back. Here's a toss in the backfield. Here's a running back with some running yards. It's number 15, Kamari Lawton. He'll have a first down for Courtland. New set of downs. They'll move the chains on this one. Courtland driving. This broadcast brought to you in part by Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. 540-547-3673.
Question for you, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the game clock? I know the time of the game, but where's the 30-second clock? I don't see it on the field.
I don't either. Here's Chu from about the 19-yard line. He made a cut, picked up good yardage. There's a penalty flag back in the area where you would expect offensive holding.
Holding. He's going against
Penalty
Courtland.
goes against the Cougars.
Checking in the game for Culpeper is number 65, Tristan Butler. Coming to the sidelines there. It looks like number 66, Cameron Dotson.
Legal shift.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 5-yarder.
Yeah, and we pick up the spot there, Steve. It looks like it's at the 23, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
See what they got. They got it on the.
19. But look over there where the far side, you can see the 20.
Yeah, they got it on.
Yeah, well, don't pay any attention to that. All right, 23. Back to the run. This is Chu, the ball carrier, and yet another penalty flag comes in. That little misdirection there almost fooled me. I thought the ball was downfield, but it was actually a blocker down there for Chu, and a penalty flag came into that play as well.
It's holding against Courtland. So the officials have been on the Blue Devils side this quarter.
Yep. Why is it? Get set to mark this one off. We'll tell you this broadcast brought to you in part by Found & Sons, more than a respected funeral home. They support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530. All right. You can see 6:14 to play here in this second quarter. Well, we mentioned previously about Eastern View was in action Thursday night. They were a winner over Caroline 42-21. And Culpeper playing today, a game that was postponed from last night to today. The weather's been nice for it. Back to the 33-yard line. This time Watson's going to throw downfield, incomplete, and the pass was underthrown. And the receiver out there, number 6, Josiah Taylor, wanted a penalty. He doesn't get it. I think with the pass underthrown, the defenders were able to converge on that and be in contention to break that one up, Steve.
Yeah, that was the reason there was no flag there was the ball was uncatchable. Basically, it was way overthrown on the top.
Second down for Cougars.
30-32. All right. I see the ball at the 32. Where do you see it?
31.
All right. 31 or 32. All right. Yeah, I've got it now. All right. Second down and long. Looks like the Cougars have to get within the Blue Devil 10-yard line for a first down to keep this drive going.
It'll be 5, 10. It's almost like 2nd and 20.
Yeah. And a whistle and a timeout taken by Courtland. I will say that our timeout sponsor is UVA Community Credit Union, strengthening the financial health of our members and of the Culpeper community. UVACreditUnion.org.
2014, if you're here from the
Also, this broadcast brought to you in part by CFC Farm and Home Center, supplying your lawn and garden, pet and farm needs since 1932. Hometown pricing and outstanding service at CFC Farm and Home Center, 825-2200. All right. Well, Steve, if someone was just now tuning in to today's game, what would you summarize them as having missed?
Basically, Courtland's domination on up front with their defensive line, the way they're penetrating our offense. But give Culpeper credit, they're hanging in here. They're only down 7-0, but they've been a recipient of some good penalties against Courtland to keep them out of the end zone. But they have a tendency to be giving up the big run and 3rd and long. And this is, here we go. We got 2nd and long. If they can get, if you give up 10, 12 yards right here, you put them in 3rd and, very close.
And like you're saying, don't give up the chunks.
Yeah, just don't give up the chunks.
And that's where you get into, good tackling, that sort of thing. So let's see what happens here on 2nd down and about 24 for the Cougars. This is Watson. Looks right now, looks left. Got a receiver near side, caught. Breaks one tackle, but not the efforts of the second tackle. And yet another penalty flag, it looks like, has come in, Steve.
Yeah, this might be against the Blue Devils face mask. See what it is.
The receiver there. Looks like it was number 80, wasn't it? No. He's got his jersey now is so muddy, I can't see it.
Can't either. Oh, against the holding, blocking the back.
Steve, how do you feel about bumblebees?
I'm allergic to them. That's why I'm staying away.
Well, I've got one in our window, and there's a wasp as well. He flies away.
I got stink bugs over here.
All right. Let's check the mark, Steve. Let's do some math here. 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 29-yard line.
Yeah. They're saying 24 yards to go to the...
They've got to get down, Courtland, to about the 6-yard line for a first down here. And it's 3rd and long. Watson, the quarterback, resetting the offense. Number 4, that's Laquan Chu in motion. Here's Watson. Throwing on the run. This one got away from him, and it's going to be intercepted by Mason Elkins at the 15-yard line. Elkins on the return. 25, 30, 35, out across the 35, out to about the 37s. Or a turnover, Steve, and the Blue Devil defense had turned them back, but that ball looked like it got away from the quarterback.
It did. It was a wounded duck, big time. I mean, he lost the handle on the football, and I'm glad Culpeper was there because that was an easy pickings there. And thank God for Mason Elkins, who's out there, made a good catch and made good yards after the catch. So now Courtland gave a lot and was very generous to the Blue Devils on that series.
And I'm going to say it's at about the 38-yard line there.
And if Culpeper
45, 40, 38. Yeah.
If Culpeper can do a drive here going into halftime, gives them all the momentum because they get the ball to start 3rd quarter.
Okay, Jeremiah Johnson, new set of downs. Here's a toss on the reverse, going nowhere. And that was Damewood cut down behind the line of scrimmage by number 15, Kamari Lawton. Well, you want them to get the ball to Damewood, and they did, but that time Kamari Lawton was waiting on him.
He recognized quick. And I bet you if you're Coach Sherry, if you told him you might be only be down 7-0 at half, he'd take it.
But he lost yards on the play. Brings up 2nd down and 18 now for the Blue Devils from their own 30. You can see the clock ticking there. This time in the 2nd quarter, you're right. Right now it's a close ball game, 7-0. Thanks to some turnovers. Jeremiah Johnson throws it, swings it out here to Caleb Green, but he made a nice catch, but he went to the ground to make it, and that's where he had to stop.
Yeah, it was. That's he lost his footing right there, and it's soft, it's muddy.
Yeah.
And
watching in the pregame, the drills, receivers losing their footing, and it's understandable. Green makes the catch, but it's actually for a loss. So we'll push it back to, let's check the spot. 25-27. So he lost 3. We'll bring up 3rd and 21.
It's going to be now. See if the Blue Devils can get out of a big come up with a big 3rd down play like Courtland's done, because you really want to chew up clock.
Well, they need a big 3rd down play here. This is and this is one where you certainly don't want to turn the ball over.
You do not want to turn the ball over here, and you want to execute, and that's what it is. It's all about execution. Looks like Culpeper's going to call timeout.
Blue Devils call timeout.
And that's a good time to call one, Steve. So really, like you were saying, if you were to say to Coach Sherry, okay, this game, just so we're going to look into the future and say, with under 4 minutes to play in the 2nd quarter, your team's going to have the football. Yes, it's 3rd and long, but you're only trailing 7-0. What would you say? Would he be surprised?
Yeah. I'd be like he's in it. You know, I would be surprised. We're in this game. We're not. I mean, everyone's picking Courtland to win big time. And, you know, if you see Courtland going between the 20s, yeah, you'd say the score should be a lot more. But once they get down in the red zone, Culpeper's defense stiffens. However, Courtland then commits penalties, and so they're their own worst enemy right now.
Looking at a team, Courtland coming in with a 2-1 record. They lost to North Stafford 41-7. They beat Louisa 37-20. They beat Orange County 44-14. You mentioned North Stafford's got a good football team, and Eastern View will find out firsthand one thing.
They sure will.
All right, after the timeout, empty backfield for Jeremiah Johnson. Three receivers to the right. Here comes the pressure, and they sack him for the big loss. And this was Christian Oliveira from his linebacker's position coming in and making the tackle. And the big loss, it's going to bring in the punting team. That means Saul Acevedo for the Blue Devils. And back deep for Courtland will be number 8, Keelan Jean-Paul Perry.
Well, look at the big boys they got up there on Courtland's D-line. They can try to bust in and block that punt. Blue Devils better be protective of the punter.
Acevedo standing in his own 5. Low snap. No pressure. Short kick. Straight up. It comes to the near sidelines.
Kick to the near sideline.
And this is going to be about a 20-yard kick.
That was poor execution, Mark, on the play all the way around. From the snap, dropping the ball and then just booting it straight up, because when he kicked it, his leg just went straight up. You want to put some distance on it. You got to, hit it in your leg maybe about 3/4 to get it down there distant, but he just basically shanked it.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is that it was a bad snap, and Acevedo may have anticipated quick pressure on him. Actually, it looked like he had some time there to deliver the kick, and maybe he rushed it, or maybe he just shanked it. But anyway, Courtland back on offense from the Blue Devil 30-yard line. This is Chu, the ball carrier. He drew a swarm of Blue Devil tacklers. He tried to get away from the first one, and then he slowed him up enough. I believe that was Vineyard, and several players, including Elkins, coming up to making the stop for Culpeper. Well, Steve, I think if you're the Blue Devils, you got to feel pretty good about what's going on right now.
Yeah, they're defensively, they're doing it. 65 has come in for the Blue Devils, and he was in on the play.
Yep, that would have been Tristan Butler. All right. Lost about 6 yards on the play. Second down and 16. Watson being hit as he throws it. This one up for grabs and almost intercepted there by number 7, Gavin Alvarado. And again, this one, Steve, a little bit too much air under it because it just invited an interception.
Yeah, both the quarterbacks are doing it. I mean, they're just not zipping the pass out there. They're kind of, like I said, they're throwing a change-up, if you want to use baseball parlance. But
yeah, could the ball be wet coming off that hand?
That could be it, too.
Yeah, and I think these wet conditions certainly don't hurt the Blue Devils.
No, they don't. They're glad the field is the way it is. Right now it's keeping them in the game.
All right, here it is off the incomplete pass. It brings up third down and about 16 to go for Courtland. Blue Devils showing pressure. Here they come. And they throw it. They try to set the screen, making a couple players miss. Still on his feet and headed to the end zone there is number 8, Culpeper Jean-Paul Perry. But they're going to bring this one back, aren't they, Steve?
Yep, they're going to bring it back. It's going to be hold against Courtland.
Yeah, but that was a nice move because the Blue Devils brought the pressure, and then Watson recognized it, swung it out for a screen pass, and his receiver there, Perry, he made a couple players miss, and he was on his way to the end zone when they bring it back.
They're waving the flag off.
Are they waving it?
All right, they're saying no flag on the play.
They weren't saying hold. They were thinking about linemen downfield, but.
Result of the play.
Let's see.
Courtland touchdown.
All right. Well, then that's going to be from 36 yards out. So if that one stands, touchdown Courtland, and it's done courtesy on that pass play to Culpeper Jean-Paul Perry. And now on for the point after be number 32, Olithan Amo Adubafour.
That's a
tough
mouthful.
one, Steve.
That's a mouthful. I'm glad you're
Adubafour, number 32 on my roster. All right, here's his kick. Up and good. 14-0 our score in favor of Courtland. Well, Steve, on that play, obviously he had a breakdown because, Perry was able to break a couple tackles, make a nice cut, sprint the rest of the distance to get into the end zone.
Yeah, you think. I mean, how many tackles did he break? Arm tackles. No, he's not super fast. He's shifty, but, should have made the tackle. Now, think of what this does, Mark. You got 2:06 left here in the first half. Culpeper had the ball at 5 minutes and 33 seconds to get, a couple minutes ago. They had, had momentum, stopped Courtland, and then all of a sudden they commit. They don't go anywhere with it, and they have a bad punt. And now that's a 2-score turnaround if you think about it. Because if Culpeper had held the ball and say they either scored or be down 7-0, they'd be happy. But no, it's penalties and poor executing tackling the football has done them in here. Now they go down 14-0.
Well, and obviously this is where you would like to be ignited by a big play on your special teams.
You sure would.
You've got Garrett Damewood and Gavin Alvarado back deep to receive this kickoff from the Courtland Cougars. Like you said, you see the time remaining. Blue Devils down 2 scores.
And your fastest guy out there should be out receiving is Caleb Murray.
But he's not one of the deep return men.
I know.
See what Courtland does. They keep it on the ground. Squib kick nicely fielded there by Culpeper's number 12, Jaden Carter.
Jaden Carter.
Now, if I was caught back in the day, I wouldn't have fallen. I would have picked it up and tried to run. Hey, my neck might get
on the
some
ground.
Glory.
Get on the ground, Peacock. Yeah.
Get some glory. Hey, I'm going to run it back, Coach.
Coach, I can do it. Put
I
me
can
in.
do it. Put me in.
It might earn you a trip to the bench. What do you think?
Yeah.
Might depend on who's coaching, too. Right.
Saying, what were you thinking?
Steve says, I know what I was feeling, but what was I thinking, right?
Yep.
That's what Dirk Bentley sang in a song back in the early 2000s.
Yep.
Remember that one?
Yep.
I know what I was feeling, but what was I thinking? Well, what we're thinking is there's yet more yellow laundry on the field.
That's going to be against the Blue Devils. It's going to be a false start. No, offside Courtland. Courtland's been very generous, giving the Blue Devils field position and keeping drives going with their penalties. Or they'd be way up.
Mark off 5 yards, brings up 1st and 5 Blue Devils at the 35-yard line.
I I'd be wondering to see how tall 44 is and 79.
Well, let's see. Yeah, what do we have for? We've got that 44, don't we?
Yeah.
Let me get back to that here in just a second. This is Riley Vineyard, the ball carrier, looking for some operating room and doesn't find any. And yeah, there he is there. Number 44 is big. Hey, Steve, this is someone not on this roster.
You're kidding.
Nope.
We got 79.
79 is Jaden Edwards. Yeah. We'll have to see if we can't get his name. He's got some really good height, doesn't he?
Yep. Yeah, Edwards. I bet he's there. I bet he's wearing a different number.
Probably so. You know, like Ted Hendricks out there.
Mm-hmm.
Johnson backpedaling, setting up the screen. This one's caught and tackled almost immediately. Is number 6, Jossie Shiflett.
Yeah, because they got Jaden Edwards listed as 6'5", and Keegan Parker, 82, is listed as 6'7". So I bet you 44 is Parker, because nobody else has got that height on the roster.
Were you saying? Yeah, the height again.
Yeah,
6'7", Keegan Parker. Yeah. Yeah, but he's arguably the tallest guy on the field, don't you think?
And then 79, 6'5". So they're your two big guys.
Yeah, good eye, Steve. Yeah, but he's definitely a force and a factor out there.
Yeah.
Here is 3rd and 5 now for the Blue Devils with you see the time remaining here in the second quarter. Johnson looks left, throws it on the slant, caught and dropped. And then a big hit after the play. This was Alvarado. Are they going to rule? Is this going to be a penalty against Courtland?
Yeah, it's going to be targeting, Mark. Instead, he ducked his head, and he don't have replay or to see it, but he ducked his head. He lowered his head into the Culpeper
receiver Gavin
Alvarado, and so that's going to be a 15-yard penalty. Now, is it targeting? If it is, the guy who made the hit is going to be ejected.
Well, I almost hesitate to use that word after the
targeting penalty.
Getting it wrong about Christian Oliveira earlier.
Yeah, we still haven't found out who committed it the first time, but they're not going to do the targeting, not going to eject him, so.
Marking this one off now.
Yep, from the spot.
And this will put the Blue Devils on the Courtland side of midfield.
I mean, I like the call. It was definitely late hit. And targeting, he did hit him in the front. I don't think it was intentional that he was going to hit him in the head. But
then after a second thought, they mark it down at midfield.
First and 10, right.
So that's where the Blue Devils will have it 1st and 10 with 33 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Looking for a score before the intermission. Here's Johnson. Moves to his right, throws. This one nearly picked off. And that was nearly picked off by number 7, Chieftain Watson.
And you know what, Mark? Basically, Johnson's got to look. You're throw it away to live another day. Don't try to force the ball in there when our receivers almost like triple coverage.
Right. All right, so 2nd and 10 from midfield now. This would be really nice if the Blue Devils could get some points before this intermission, Steve.
Yep.
Remember, they won the toss and deferred, so we'll receive the 3rd quarter kickoff. Or second half kickoff, if you prefer. Johnson throwing across the field, short. This one will be picked off, it looks like. That pass is well underthrown.
Right.
And see if you can pick up his number, Steve. It's number 5.
Number 5, but
Jaden Young.
Basically, though, if we had replay in high school, he would have trapped it. That would have been an incomplete pass.
You think he trapped it?
Yep. From here, I can say he didn't get his hands completely under. He trapped it, but almost as good as a punt for the Blue Devils. They just got to now hang on for 21 seconds here to go in the first half.
Thornton has it at its own 17. They may take a knee and decide to go to the locker room up 14-0. But if you're Courtland, there's no reason to gamble on anything here, is there?
Unless you see something in the quarterback. I'm glad they're playing a deep safety.
Yeah. Resetting the ball there. Okay, now you're looking at the Courtland offense. Spread it out this time. 2 receivers both sides. They are going to throw. Near side, this one's caught by Perry. And then Perry loses his footing. As he got across the 25.
Mark, that had a big gainer written all over it, because they saw that our safeties were split wide, and one of the safeties went right to thought where the play was going to go, and then went the other way.
Goes against the Cougars.
Now, if you're Courtland, I bet you take J.C. Hall, tells his team, take knee, let's get out of here.
Yeah, because this penalty really does change things in terms of what your play call would be, likely.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. You got it.
We may have a timeout on the field as well. You see Courtland over there huddled up across to their sideline.
Well, they called timeout as soon as the ball, the tackle was made and he slipped.
Courtland calls timeout.
All right. Looking at the Blue Devil defensive unit there, and you can see head coach Eric Sherry, the headset on and the polo shirt. Beautiful day here. And we've been wanting one, Steve. We've been wanting the sunshine. The players welcome it for sure. But I think it has slowed down Courtland in some sense. But I think that the one thing that you've said the Blue Devils really have to be on guard against, and that is don't give up chunks of yardage.
Right.
They've been in position to stop Courtland with their rushing attack many times. But right now, Courtland has the football late here in the second quarter, and after that penalty, you almost expect them to take a knee, use the clock, and head to the intermission. We'll see.
You got to be careful, though. They could try to sneak one on you.
Yep. Well, Chieftain Watson's the quarterback. He's under center this time. He's going to hand off, and the big running back to the right makes the cut, gets out away from the pack, and then picks up good yardage. And that was Marcus LaRue.
First down.
Picks up a first down, and you've still got time for at least one play.
One play.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they think they can get down there and get somebody hurt. It's like cramp.
Cougars player on the field.
All right, let's check the spot, Steve. 25-30 out to the 33. Pick up a 16 yards on the play by Marcus LaRue.
And again,
so you got an injured Courtland player,
and
you think he's being attended to for a cramp?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was happening last night in the Virginia Tech-Miami game, cramping.
All right, why was that, I didn't see it last night, why was that game controversial?
Well, at the end of the game, Miami scored with like 2 minutes to go, okay, and went up 38-34. So 4 point. Tech gets it back. He gets the ball back, and they may pick up a couple first downs. Well, they get about down to maybe Miami's 40, and with 5 seconds to go, Tech snaps it, drones, throws the ball, and they're Hail Mary. Mm-hmm. And there were 3 defenders and 3 receivers. All of them went up.
Okay.
And it looked like Felton, the receiver for Virginia Tech, caught it. I will go after this. There it is.
And that's the end of the first half.
Well, this one's expired. No more. There won't be another play before this first half expires. All right, the 2 teams will go to the intermission with the Courtland Cougars out front, 14-0. Enjoy the halftime show. Steve and I will come back for the third quarter kickoff, and Culpeper will receive it. Stay tuned. You're watching Blue Devils football on the Culpeper Media Network.
This broadcast is made possible by the generosity of our community sponsors.
Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. CFC Farm and Home Center, supplying your lawn and garden, pet, and farm needs since 1932. Hometown pricing and outstanding service at CFC Farm and Home. Found in Sons Funeral Home, Culpeper's perpetual best of the best for resources, planning, and support for our entire community. Battlefield Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford, proudly serving the Culpeper community for over 20 years. State-of-the-art service departments and over 22 acres with hundreds of new and pre-owned vehicles. Battlefield Automotive. Nominations are now being accepted for the local area sports Hall of Fame. Nominate anyone that you feel is deserving of historical local sports recognition at localsportshistory.com/HOF.
Well, welcome back to our broadcast. We're at Broman Field. It's halftime, and the Blue Devils are out getting ready to receive that third quarter kickoff. Steve Peacock, I'm Mark O'Connell, and Johnny Krawchuk with you today on behalf of the Culpeper Media Network. It's 14-0 Courtland. Steve, let's break down that first half for our viewing audience. I went through my notes and saw that the Blue Devils turned the ball over twice, and Courtland turned it over once. And that minimized the scoring.
It did. I mean, if you think about it, Courtland could be up 35-0 right now, or 28-0, but they had a score called back, a penalty, and they had a lot of penalties in opportune times, which has helped the Blue Devils, but the Blue Devils couldn't, basically catch that and change the momentum and put it in the end zone. They weren't able to do that because they had their own penalties, and some people I've heard, right down halftime, well, the field was so bad they should have put longer cleats in. Hey, hindsight's 20/20. Both teams got to play in it, and you got to basically give Courtland credit where credit's due as far as in between the 20s. But Courtland's blown up every time they get in the red zone, and Culpeper gets the red zone, and they have inopportune penalties. I mean, they should have 7 points on the board right now. The only advantage I see right coming here at halftime is that Culpeper's going to get the ball.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be very important, that offensive series. If they can come down and score, it changes the whole complexion of the game.
Well, when you look at what the Blue Devils did well offensively in the first half, and you think about that coupled with the intermission and an opportunity to tweak things, make some adjustments, what might you do differently offensively? I mean, I know that the running of Riley Vineyard was certainly something to take home and to be proud of.
Yeah, it is, but he needs to get his receivers more involved. Green and Alvarado. And Johnson's got to quit throwing the ball straight up in the air. Throw it like you mean it. Like you're throwing like you're playing catch in the yard. And, because Courtland's quarterback has the same issue too. So.
Yeah, we've seen the ball come off his hand, probably because the ball was wet. So you're not getting the sort of quality passes that maybe you're accustomed to throwing under better conditions. But as you pointed out, both teams have to play on this field, and footing has been an issue, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
So what about defensively, Steve? I think the Blue Devils had their moments, but I think that they showed once again that they were a little bit prone to giving up chunks of yardage after having made some consistent, steady stops. They tend to give up some chunks of yardage. That sets them back.
It does. It sets them back tremendously. And a team as good as Courtland is, you can't do that. And you got to play disciplined football. And it's going to be interesting to see what we do to come out and start second half from an offensive standpoint. They've got to get the balls in the hand of their skilled players. And they got to get, I think right now, offensively, the offensive line, I give them a grade B. They're doing okay. They're holding their own. Vineyard, he's been their lone bright spot because he can pick up some chunks of yardage himself. But again, play action with Vineyard and then look at your wide receivers. See how open they are. Because Courtland likes to play a two-deep safety. So the middle's wide open because it means your corners are going to be man up, man-to-man. And because the linebackers are going to try to blitz. So if you see a man-to-man situation, if I was a quarterback, I'd be salivating. I'm going to get you now. But you can't throw a duck. You got to throw a ball.
Yeah, ducks, they like the water, though.
Yeah, it looks
like the water. Steve, I want to say something about Garrett Damewood. We know about his potential and some of the things, his capability. I think that a couple times he got stopped before he got on track. I think if you want to spring Damewood, somebody's got to make that initial block and give him time to start turning on those jets.
You're right. I mean, they got to give him space and get in there. They can't. The problem is what we're doing is we're trying to play because the footing's not great. And I know if you cut, you might go down. But you got to play like it's a dry turf. If you slip, you slip. No one's going to fault you for that. But don't make a live another day. Get up and make another play. Don't rethink what it could have, should have, would have, nothing. Just go on, make the next play. Being down 14-0, that frankly they should. I was hoping they go in halftime down 7-0, but they're still in the game. It's only 2 touchdowns, so but that's what I'm thinking. In this offensive series, we've got to answer.
And Steve, 2 touchdowns, and one of those was scored very early on when Courtland had its first possession. They started at their own 35. I think it took them 5 or 6 plays to go 65 yards. They capped it with a run by Oliveira, and then I mistakenly said he got tossed. Well, he wasn't. Maybe someone did, but it wasn't him. And he's really been a mainstay for this Courtland team over the past 3 or 4 seasons, Christian Oliveira. And they've got some other good players. And again, they run that wing tee, and, they do use some misdirection, and you really have to play discipline on defense. But we're going to see the Blue Devil offense to start things here in the third quarter, unless, of course, we get a run back for a touchdown or we get a turnover on the kickoff. But, barring those miscues, a miscue on a fumble or anything like that, we'll see the Culpeper offense. And I think it'll be interesting to see what Coach Sherry and his assistants have decided to do offensively in this second half.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think I would go more to the throwing game a little bit and use the running game to set up the pass instead of vice versa.
All right. And we are underway here in the third quarter. They keep this one on the ground. Nice fielding job done by the up back for Culpeper. If you can, not sure I can see his number, Steve. It might have been Mason Elkins, or was it number 25?
No, it was number 1, or number 7 rather.
No, that's Uribe.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Gavin Alvarado is number 7.
Yeah, that's who got it.
Yeah, Uribe is number 11. Mason Elkins had an interception for the Blue Devil defense in the first half. You said, of course, Culpeper turned the ball over twice to Courtland as well. But here we are starting the third quarter, and the Blue Devils, Steve, have excellent field position to start this one.
Yeah, and see, they got Vineyard on the bench. So I'm thinking they're going to go to the throwing game here.
Right, from the 43. Here's Jeremiah Johnson in the pistol. Handing off to Williams. Williams stood up at the line of scrimmage and pushed back for no gain.
I like to fight him, but
right.
You got to hit that hole quicker.
Well, his second carry of the game, and no gain on play brings up 2nd and 10.
And see, this is where I think he should go start throwing it.
Dalton Butler, the receiver, comes to the bottom of your screen, wide right. And I believe that's Khalid Murray, top of your screen. There's Johnson on the option. He pitches back. This is Williams. Makes a cut and turns upfield, lowered his shoulder and picked up about 5 yards in play. He's going to bring up a third down and a manageable third down.
Yeah, you're right, Mark. It's a manageable third down. It's not third and long, but it's third and they're going to say 6. But, again, still manageable. Get your quarterback out on a rollout away from pressure so he can be able to find his receivers or go with a draw play.
Gavin Alvarado, top of your screen, wide left receiver. And Butler, bottom of your screen, 2 players in the slot there, and they throw it to Garrett Damewood. And Damewood is going to be hit shy of a first down. He got to the line of scrimmage, and that's where he was stood up by Chieftain Watson and pushed back shy of a first down. He couldn't get untracked.
He couldn't lower his head and turn that corner.
Now 4th down, and the punting team comes on. That means Saul Acevedo for the Blue Devils. So it'll be a 3 and out for Culpeper. Going back to hope to receive this kick, punt rather, is Pilon Jean-Paul Perry. Acevedo takes the snap, and he kicks this one from the 39.
Acevedo kicked his end over and takes a nice bounce for the Blue Devils.
It does take a nice roll. It is picked up by Perry, and Perry is hit immediately, and he stopped for no gain. No return, rather.
That's a good
21 and 35. It turned out to be about a 56-yard punt for Acevedo with the roll, Steve.
That'll do it every time. Now, defensively, let's see if Culpeper can force a 3 and out. They didn't do much offensively in that first series where I said, it's imperative they should score, but now they're going to have to sit there and play tight defense.
Bill, did you know that localsportshistory.com is the community's sports site that you are building organically? Check out local sports information or contribute your submissions at localsportshistory.com. All right. So, Courtland, very less than average field position, going to start this one at its own 15.
Yeah, see if we, just don't give up big chunks of yardage.
And again, this is Watson under center, hands off to that tailback over the right side, broke a tackle, got across the 25, out to the 30, pick up a 15 yards on the play, and that was by Christian Oliveira.
And Mark, now that play developed was the handoff, but again, the defensive line they've got to tighten up a little bit. They're just showing too many gaps, and the linebackers aren't there. And when you see the deep safety, the quarterback's going, look at the middle's wide open. We can get to the edge if we can put a hat on everybody, and that's what they've been able to do.
1st and 10 Cougars from their 29-yard line here. See the time in this third quarter. Chieftain Watson running that wing tee, and they hand it off to Chu. Chu went over the right side, got up to about the 30, it looks like.
Just across the 35-yard line.
35. Got to the 35, rather. He picked up 6 yards.
And Mark, this is vintage Courtland right here. Ball control, run the ball, eat up clock.
Right.
This is exactly what they're doing. You're not going to see Courtland do anything fancy here.
All right. Well, this broadcast brought to you in part by Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Handoff straight ahead. This time the Blue Devils is waiting for him. Ball is stripped, and it's picked up, but do we have a whistle? Apparently so. Could not advance it. That was...
They said the ground caused it.
Trying to pick up the...
referee signaled that he was down before the fumble.
Anyway, it brings up a 3rd down. Let's check and see where they put it down here. So 40, 35, 36. 3rd down and 3 on its way.
We got number 25 in for Culpeper first time. He's playing the linebacker spot.
Tyler Clavlow.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's 3rd down. There's Watson rolling to his left. Short toss. This one incomplete and almost picked off. It was bobbled by the intended receiver, and then R.J. Uribe came over, and it looked like he was in position to make the theft.
I was hoping to make the theft. Just don't push it into the Courtland guy's hand.
Well, it brings up 4th down, and now we're seeing the Cougar punting team come onto the field.
Yeah, but this would be a good time where J.C. All might pull a fake off. Let's watch it.
Yeah. Let's check out who that kicker is, Steve. Ruko Thielen. Is he number 25? Yeah, there he is. The clean uniform. You rush to get the snap. Then his kick is a fair catch called and taken by Garrett Dayton at the 39-yard line. So another opportunity for the Blue Devils with pretty good field position as they bring their offense back into the field, trailing 14-0 here with 8:28 to play in this third quarter. Well, this broadcast brought to you in part by Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. 540-547-3673. All right, so 30, about the 38 there. And Jeremiah Johnson shifting the offensive players. Here's J.Q. Williams. Williams looking for a block. Spun away from the would-be tackler. Still fighting for yardage, keeping those legs churning. He picks up 1st down yardage after all that effort.
Good job on Scaris Williams. Plus, he held on to the football. Mm-hmm. Good yards after the catch. Mark was getting ready to say one person we haven't called all night, and it's in street clothes. It's injured Riley Lynch, number 1.
Yeah, because he's been in the usual mix of things. So Williams, looks like he picked up 11 yards on the play. Ball just shy of midfield there at the 49. All right, let's see what Johnson wants to do here on the option. Pitch back to Williams. Williams will get a yard. He'll be at midfield, and that's it.
Got to hit that pitch quicker. It's just a little late on that pitch, Mark.
We believe, Steve, that number 44 for Courtland is Keegan Parker, don't we? Because of his height advantage out there. He's the tallest guy out there. Or he's lit on the roster as number 82, but he's a defensive lineman, and he's a tight end on offense. He's 6'7", 245, and he's a junior.
You don't think some schools looking at that size?
Yeah, they definitely like that size, don't they? Yeah, all right. 2nd down and 10. Johnson going to go on the option left side this time. He fools no one, and they're going to drop him for a loss back at the 45. 4-yard loss, going to bring up 3rd down and about 14.
See, I don't understand that play call, Mark. It should have been throwing the ball. You're down. You got to get points, and you're sitting there trying to – it didn't work on the right side. What makes you think it's going to work on the left? And it was just showing right there what Courtland did. And they just got to – to me, it's just execution and get better play calling.
You know, one player I'd be surprised they don't try to go to would be Dalton Butler.
Mm-hmm.
Or is he not playing, number 15?
I don't see him out there.
Gavin Alvarado. Let's look for that number when we get a chance. Here's Johnson looking for some help. Swings it out to Caleb Green. He makes another catch, but his knee was on the ground when he caught it, so that's where the ball will be marked.
Lucky
the play is down. Yeah.
Lucky when a backward pass, too.
Yeah. Saul Acevedo and the punting team back on the field for the Blue Devils.
You got to understand, high school and college, you put a knee down, you're down right there.
Sure are.
Only time you get up is in the pros.
Back deep to return this one conceivably for the Cougars is Kamari Lawton, number 15. Acevedo kicking this one from about the 27. The short kick. And the Blue Devils have touched it. That's where it's going to be down, I believe, right at the 40. So Courtland will have good field position when the Cougars send their offense back on the field. With that much time remaining here in the 3rd quarter, and you see our score. And this broadcast brought to you in part by Fountain Sons, more than a respected funeral home. They support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Fountain Sons, 825-3530.
There's number 15, Mark. He came off. He was on special teams. Culpeper.
Okay. I was saying that because number 15 is Dalton Butler.
Yep, there he is.
Yeah. All right. Courtland back on offense here. 50, 45, 40, right at its own 40. You see the time remaining. You see the score. That was our score at the intermission. Back to the run they go.
You said you.
Tyler McKnight making the tackle on the ball carrier and was trying to pick up his number. There's Steve. Is Oliveira?
Oliveira.
Yeah.
Oliveira.
Oh, I'm sorry. Olivella.
But see, Courtland, like I said, they're going to take their time,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to, go to the run game. Like I said, they're just going to sit there and pound on the Blue Devil defensive line, and we're not getting much pressure up front at the point of attack. And once Courtland gets to our second level, that's when those big yardage they rip. And they're, like I said, they're not overly fast. They just execute better.
Blue Devils showing pressure. Courtland picks it up. Watson throws downfield in double coverage, and a penalty flag comes in. That may cost the Blue Devils back there defending for Culpeper. Was number 7, Gavin Alvarado, and McKnight, I believe it was.
That game ball wasn't catchable, and there's no way they're going to call interference.
But if they do, yeah.
15-yarder from the line of scrimmage. He was saying he didn't look back. You got to look back at the ball. You can't face shield or face guard an offensive receiver, but that was close. That, to me, was a little ticky-tack.
Well, it moves the ball to the Culpeper 43. It gives the Cougars a new set of downs. And they have it on the Culpeper side of midfield. Here's a little misdirection and trickery, and this running back gets away from the first tackler, made a cut, turned upfield, picked up good yardage inside the Blue Devil 30-yard line. That was number 8, Keelan Jean-Paul Perry, the ball carrier. He's a little slow getting
We have
up.
an injured player
Yeah,
for the
number 23
Cougars
for
on the
Culpeper
field.
was, playing on the defensive end on that right side. I thought he was in on the tackle too.
Number 23 is Charlie Holland. Now we got a player. This is a Courtland player being attended to. Steve, what's
Yeah.
this? Well, he's back on his feet. Again, that's Keelan Jean-Paul Perry, 5'11", 170-pound senior.
Going
to the
Jean-Paul
sideline.
Perry was the injured player. Let's give him a round of applause as he goes off on his own. Glad to see it and hoping to come back in this game.
All right, now they got first. Did they get first down that?
The result of the last play was the first down.
Yep,
Yeah,
looks
well.
that way. And the ball is at the 27. 27 of Culpeper. Yep. Courtland first down here. Watson rolls right, short toss. Got an open receiver out there.
Goes to the right
Picking
side,
up yardage
picking
and a
up,
first down was number 15,
Nathan
Kamari Lawton.
Green.
Again, right now,
First down.
Cortland's firing on all cylinders. Mark, they're just eating Culpeper up with the short gainers. They're nothing
First
fancy.
down.
Yeah. That was a gain of 10 yards on the play. First and 10, Courtland. From the Culpeper 17.
Culpeper cannot afford to be down 21 points in this Courtland team, Mark. So they got to, hold them to 3.
They go back to the run. Straight ahead they go.
Hand off right up the
Dragging a tackler.
middle. Tackle made by
And a penalty flag comes in at the end of this play as well. The ball carrier there was
on the play.
LaRue,
And the
Marcus LaRue. And let's check the penalty.
penalty's going to be a number 99 for Culpeper. No, it's Courtland.
Holding
Must be
against the
a
Cougars.
bad block.
It's holding against Courtland. 99 and him were tussling. I thought they were going to throw it a 99. It could have been either way, but
All right, as they mark this one off, we'll tell you this broadcast brought to you in part by CFC Farm and Home Center, supplying your lawn and garden, pet, and farm needs since 1932. Hometown pricing and outstanding service at CFC Farm and Home Center, 825-2200.
and see, Culpeper, all they got to do is make Courtland their own worst enemy, and they get the ball back.
So now they have it at the 27 of Culpeper.
Still first down.
So it's looking
Yeah.
like. Good eye, Mark.
Well, they've got to get to the Blue Devil 7, it looks like, for a first down. Back to the run, straight ahead. Not much doing this time for
Right up the
LaRue.
middle. Short gain on the play.
Short gain. Let's check the tackle
Several
there.
Blue Devil
It was
defenders
number
trying to
59
tackle,
for
including
Culpeper, Steve.
55,
Yeah.
Tristan Butler.
And that is, was it 59? Cameron Marduz?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good play by the Blue Devils.
Held him a 2-yard pickup. Second down. About 18 to go here for a first down.
Yeah, they got to get some pressure on that cornerback.
Yeah, they haven't really been able to get close to him. They hand the ball off so quickly, and you got a guy
Hand
like
off right up
this,
the middle.
and this is Marcus LaRue running straight
LaRue
ahead.
makes the tackle.
See,
Brings up
Culpeper's
third and long. Yeah.
Culpeper defender walking back here. Can't turn his, he's the one who got his hand, but he got crushed by a block. And Courtland he's walking back to the huddle right here. 59. He had to play, but he got hammered. And it was just a little simple trap play is what all it was.
Well, we got a 3rd and 12 here for Courtland. Here's Watson. Short pass, caught,
Pass, right side, rolling out.
and then forced out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. That was
Out of bounds, right
Kalan
at the
Jean-Paul Perry on the
Inside the
reception.
5-yard
New
line.
set of downs. They'll have 1st and goal with the Cougars coming up here in just a second.
Mark, that was just a simple rollout pass, and our defenders aren't, they're giving too much space to Courtland's receiver. That was just too easy. This is like playing back when we were kids, playing in the backyard. You just go out here, go to the right, just run down the sideline.
Yeah.
Louisville call a timeout.
quick toss there, and he got
Yeah.
down to the 3-yard line. That's where it's going to be 1st and goal after this timeout. So is Courtland on the verge maybe of opening this one up a little bit, you think?
Yeah, they are. I mean, hopefully they'll continue to be their own worst enemy with some penalties here. But the Blue Devils are tired. You can see it. They've been defense all pretty much start here the second half. The offense keeps going 3 and out.
Well, Well, we got a timeout on the field. Our timeout sponsor is UVA Community Credit Union, strengthening the financial health of our members and of the Culpeper community. UVAcreditunion.org. All right. 2:22 remaining here in this third quarter.
And even if they lose to Courtland today, point-wise, Culpeper's Division III, it's not going to hurt them much. They got a big benefit by beating Fauquier. That was a big game for them to win because of all the points that came with the beating Division 16.
The Old Country Store for the sandwiches made for both the JV and
Yeah,
varsity games.
that's always a factor when you start thinking about qualifying for the postseason and what seed you're going to be.
Barbecue for pregame meals for both
Right?
JV and varsity.
Yep.
Thank you
Exactly.
to the Old Country Store, Peppers.
But
and
right
Tom's
now, they just got to show
Barbecue.
some
So
toughness
we've
right
got
here
Blue Devil
and see if they can
athletics.
keep them out 5 yards. You know, see what you can do. Find the football. Coming out is number 22.
That's Mason Elkins. He's got the interception for the Blue Devils. Had that one in the first half. Here's 1st and goal now from about the 3. And powering his way into the end zone from 3 yards out, Marcus LaRue, touchdown Courtland. The Cougars have extended their lead to 20. But
Again,
we got a penalty flag in late. Is this play going to stick?
yeah, we'll see. Let's hope it goes against Courtland for a little extracurricular activities. It looks like it is.
The play is sideline warning against Courtland.
No, that's nothing.
Yeah.
It's a 5-yard penalty next time, isn't it?
So that it doesn't take away the touchdown.
No.
Right? All right.
Shouldn't. Let's see. We've been wrong before.
Yeah, I would say I
No,
have.
they're barking it back.
Yeah.
Well, aren't they supposed to warn them first and then before the...
Here it is there.
Sideline warning. Goes
5
against
yards?
Courtland.
That's called, takes the point off the boards. There you go, Culpeper. Now you've been given a gift.
Well, they haven't taken them off there though, so I'm not really real clear on whether or not to score.
No, because they got the first down marker over here, so they're running.
No, they've taken the points off, Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah. We go back here. This is number 2,
Hand off right side to number 2.
Christian Olivella, and Olivella is in.
And Olivella gets into the end zone.
So touchdown Courtland. Now it is 20-0.
Yeah, that remarks poor tackling right there. You had him out. He was on over 10 yards to go, a little just inside the 10, and you let him come on down, miss tackles, and get in the end zone.
Yeah, Olivella's second score of the night. He got the game's first touchdown on Courtland's opening drive. Now he adds his second. And now on for the point after is Elnathan Amo Abdufor. And this one is stuffed. This one's blocked, no good. So our score remains 20-0, but 2 minutes and 8 seconds remaining here in this third quarter.
Over the Blue Devils.
You know, again, it's not that Courtland's that much better. It's just that there's
Again, we
been
love
some
honoring
poor
our
execution on
CCHS alumni.
Culpeper's part. Poor tackling, arm tackling.
Are we seeing the best out of both teams today on a field like this, though?
No. I mean, if we were down at Courtland,
Mm-hmm.
the score would be way more than what it is.
Where they're playing unofficially on the Smurf turf.
Yep, the Smurf turf.
I don't think it's officially called that, but you go down to Courtland and it's
Blue turf like Boise.
it stands out. You know, it's got the blue turf and that sort of thing.
And so what happens there is, you know,
Unique.
they would have sure footing. And at first, though, when we were going to do the game, at first it was thought about starting at 10 a.m., which Courtland said no to that. And so they said, let's start at noon.
How about high noon?
High noon. And it's warm out. I mean, it's, you got a little lantern fly right there visiting us.
We've had a few visitors.
You
We've had
gotta
a
kill
bumblebee.
those. You gotta kill those guys.
What is it?
A lanternfly.
A lanternfly.
Yeah, they eat all vegetation.
Wow. And so you think he should
Not be around.
not be around any longer? You want me to do the honors?
Yes.
Well, I think I'll get to that one after the game. The little fella's not bothering me too much. There's no vegetation in here, Steve.
No, that's true.
But we've seen, we got this, what do you call this again? A lanternfly?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're very invasive. They say to kill them because they can decimate vegetation.
Okay.
They were brought over here by a boat. from
Keep this
Asia.
one on the ground. This one's fielded at the 30 by Williams. Williams gets across the 40, it looks like. To about the 43, and the Blue Devil offense will have good field position from which to work, but they trail by 3 scores, and time will soon be a factor.
Well, they're going to have to start airing it out, Mark. They're going to have to get some points here. And this minute and 59, they're like you said, they're about ready to lose. You know, right here, if they do not score, that's just going to make it doubly tough in the fourth quarter because you're going to have 3 possessions in order to, catch up with them. And the way Courtland's running the football, it might not happen.
So will it be on the arm of Jeremiah Johnson?
Yep. He's going to have to step up.
Not yet. We got a whistle and stoppage.
This is where you look to your leaders, and you get and set and just get them.
Offsides against Culpeper. We'll push it back to the 38 when they mark it off.
Offside penalty goes against the Blue Devils.
Was that offsides? I mean, they lined up offsides?
They must have, because usually you get the offsides against your defense. don't
Right.
you?
And see, to me, that's a sign of a team being tired because you got a lot of two-way players going, and Courtland will wear you out. And they got some big boys.
It looks like Courtland perhaps have made some changes in personnel too, because remember they had Keegan Parker in their number 44 off that left side. He's out.
Yeah, replaced by number 52.
Yeah, and that's Garrett, Garecht.
Gareth?
Blue Devils fake it, throw it over the middle. This one's caught at the 45, out to about the 47. And let's check the numbers, Steve. Was that
Number 6.
45-yard line.
all right? Well, that is Jossie Shiflett.
Again, that play, Mark, is open almost every time. And that's why you can do it. You can move down the field until they stop it. Then you attack the corners.
Yep.
Because if they do something to stop it, they're going to be vulnerable somewhere else.
Picked up 9 yards on the pass play. Brings up 2nd and 6. You see the clock, the time remaining there, and our score. It was 14-0 at the intermission. Johnson on the pitch. Williams got by the first defender and then dove forward to about midfield. That'll hold him to a 3-yard gain. Third down coming up here.
Third down for the Blue
One
Devils.
player I've not seen get too much involved in the offense, and he needs to be from a receiver standpoint, is Caleb Green. I mean, I know he's playing safety on D, but, he needs to get more involved, and they're using him basically as a blocker.
3rd and 3 Blue Devils now from midfield. Williams is back there behind Jeremiah Johnson. Williams gets the ball carry. Straight ahead he goes. He spun away from one defender, got inside the Courtland 40, down to about the 39, and a first down for the Blue Devils.
That was a good play call right there. They exploited a little hole there in the Courtland defense, and he was able to come in there, and Williams was able to pick up those tough yards.
11 to be exact. First down, Blue Devils now from the Cougar 39. Williams gets the ball carry again. He's trying to spin away from the hold of several white jerseys there, but unable to do so. They'll stop him near the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 2nd down. And we were just mentioning number 44, Keegan Parker. He's back in the lineup for Courtland, Steve. He's the big fella. He's on the roster as 6'7", 245, and he's a junior.
That's the end of the third quarter, Mark.
All right. End of the third. Our score, Cougars 20, Blue Devils nothing. We'll take a break and come back for the 4th and final segment after this. Keep it right here on the Culpeper Media Network. You're watching Blue Devils football.
This broadcast is made possible by the generosity of our community sponsors.
Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. CFC Farm and Home Center, supplying your lawn and garden, pet, and farm needs since 1932. Hometown pricing and outstanding service at CFC Farm and Home. Found in Sons Funeral Home, Culpeper's perpetual best of the best for resources, planning, and support for our entire community. Battlefield Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford, proudly serving the Culpeper community for over 20 years. State-of-the-art service departments and over 22 acres with hundreds of new and pre-owned vehicles. Battlefield Automotive. Nominations are now being accepted for the local area sports Hall of Fame. Nominate anyone that you feel is deserving of historical local sports recognition at localsportshistory.com/HOF.
Okay, welcome back to our broadcast and the start of the fourth quarter. And it will witness the Blue Devils in possession. And a 2nd and 10 from the Courtland 39-yard line.
All right, see if Culpeper can keep this up and keep the ball moving.
All right, here comes Damewood. Got by the first defender, but not the second one. He was dragged down by a big number 79, Jaden Edwards. He's almost as big as his teammate Keegan Parker, 6'5" and 262.
He pulled out that big mitt and said, no, boom.
Slung him down to the ground. He lost about 3 yards on the play. Back to the 42.
And again, you know, I understand you want to stick with the run, but if Courtland's going to give you that inside, now they're not. See how they're lined up in defense? They're not giving up the inside anymore. So now you're going to sit here and try to tackle on the edge.
All right, here's Johnson. He's got Vineyard back there to block. He's throwing. Got a receiver. It's Dalton on the slant. He's going to be shy of a first down by about 5 yards.
How come that wasn't a horse collar?
Yeah, I'm not sure. But at the 35 now, Steve, they only need about, 5 yards for a first down?
Yep. 5, but long 5.
Yeah.
People say, what do you mean by long 5?
Well, and actually it looks like about 6 from right here. But, 6 yards, that's manageable, but you got to get it here. It's 4th down. Here's Johnson with a blocking hold up. It does. He throws downfield incomplete. And this situation here, I think he threw so far behind the intended receiver, Damewood out there.
I don't think the receiver and the quarterback were on the same page.
I was going to say the exact same thing because that was certainly looked like they were thinking about two different things about where that pass should be. Well, as it is, on the incomplete pass, Blue Devils turn it over on down, so the Cougars up 20-0 early on this fourth quarter go back on offense. Well, you probably know that localsportshistory.com is the community sports site that you are building organically. Check out our local sports information or contribute your submissions at localsportshistory.com. All right, Courtland back on offense. And they're going to start this one at their own 35. Back to the run they go, left side. This is Marcus LaRue, the ball carrier. Coming up on the last man up off that tackle. Tyler McKnight, 21.
Ball carrier.
Yeah, well, they're going to see. They're now. You're going to see Courtland just pound away with that wing tee, and they're going to just say, "Culpeper, just stop us," because they got their score in their favor. They're up 20 points in the clock in the fourth quarter. You're going to see run.
Right now, Courtland pitching a shutout and in possession, up 20-0 here. You can see the time, just under 10 minutes to play in this one. Here's a handoff. And again, up the middle is the running back. He'll pick up first down yardage. And that was LaRue, once again, the ball carrier.
And again, like I said, sound like a broken record, but that's what they're going to do. We got to get a turnover here.
And we pointed out Courtland, the clock management, they do a good job of taking their time, using the play clock.
Old school.
Yeah, and, the way they run that ball, I mean, they're going to consume yardage and, equally as important, they're going to consume clock, and they're up by 20 points. All right, 1st and 10. Watson under center, hands off. This is the ball carrier, Laquan Chu. Gets to the outside, stiff arms the defender, and then is knocked down by Caleb Green late in the play, and that may draw a 15-yard penalty flag. We'll see.
Now, who's that on? Is that on Green? Yeah, it's going to be a late hit, Culpeper. You can't hit him out of bounds. And, once he touches that blue tarp there, you can't deliver a blow, and that's where the flag is.
You think maybe his momentum carried him through that play, and it wasn't really flagrant or intentional?
It wasn't intentional, but, you're right. I think the momentum. And so now the officials, maybe they might wave it off, but I don't think so.
Oh, look at this.
Holding against, I thought it was going to be a late hit. Big break again for Culpeper.
Steve, I thought the same thing because the player was tackled. Here's a personal foul coming in here. So they did get it, but we just didn't see the holding penalty.
Yeah, well, they're going to enforce the holding penalty, and then they're going to enforce the.
That means the man who walks it off will go in both directions, right?
Yeah. So there was, a late hit. I thought, and like I said, Caleb wasn't doing that intentionally. But he just saw the momentum.
But the official didn't walk in both directions, Steve, so this counts against the Blue Devils. Now the ball's up to 39.
Yeah, I know. I saw him walk back.
But what did they do with the holding penalty then?
They walked it back. It's from the spot 10 yards, and they go back 15.
I didn't see him walk it back.
Yeah.
That's where I lost him. Okay. 1st and 10, Cougars. Handing off. Kamari Lawton. Lawton makes the cut, turns upfield, picks up good yardage. He'll be a couple yards shy of a first down. And coming in there, helping to assist on the tackle was R.J. Uribe.
And right now, Mark, I'm just going to say it. Right now, Culpeper's just tired. You can see it on the defense. They've been on that field all day, and it's hot and it's humid.
And this broadcast brought to you in part by Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Handoff again, straight ahead. This one is LaRue, and he gets inside the Blue Devil 20. And another first down for the Courtland Cougars. And coming up, holding his right shoulder there, Steve, that Blue Devil defender. So you can make out his number right here. It's 53 for Culpeper. It was kind of hard to see that, but it was Brendan Stover holding his shoulder.
At first, I thought it was Vineyard.
Again, checking in now, Ty Nobbs, number 26. And he may be sporting the team's cleanest jersey at this point.
Is that Daniel Nobbs' son?
As I understand it. All right, so let's check it. 5, 10, 15, 20. 20-yard line. 1st and 10, Cougars. Watson under center, handing off. Over that right side, then straight ahead is the ball carrier who's still fighting for yards. That is Marcus LaRue. Gets down to about the 5-yard line where it'll be 1st and goal for the Cougars.
Mark, you just see it. I mean, Courtland's just pounding on them. They're dominating the line of scrimmage. And, when your D-line's getting pushed back 4 and 5 yards, and then you got to make the tackle. And, again, you're looking at some very tired Blue Devils on defense.
1st and goal now from the 5 for the Cougars. Looking to extend their lead to 27. And they've got Marcus LaRue back there. Man in motion. They hand it off to LaRue. He gets past McKnight. And then he's greeted by about 4 or 5 blue jerseys who hold him for a short game. Well, this broadcast brought to you in part by Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. 540-547-3673.
Now, Mark, you got to reach deep down. Down's about pride. with your Blue Devils on defense. You don't want them to score. Let's make them go 4 and out.
All right. And it is 2nd and goal for the Cougars from the 3-yard line. LaRue is back there. He gets the call. And looks like he's in from 3 yards out. Touchdown, Courtland. This one courtesy of running back Marcus LaRue. Makes it 26-0 with 6:30 to play.
Yeah, I thought he stopped a little bit short, but the officials said he crossed the plane.
Mm-hmm.
But again, Culpeper, like I said, they're just tired. And if they're going to get more tired if this offense doesn't at least keep the ball and try to get a score and make it, a little bit palatable on this day, the loss.
Well, Courtland's been, I would say, on their scoring drives pretty methodical, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm. You know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
I mean, they're ring T. You know what they're going to do.
Well, they line up to go for 2 here. And LaRue will try to punch it in if he can get close enough. It looks like the Blue Devil wall, unless it's 2nd, 3rd effort. And he is in. LaRue looked like he was stopped, but he just refused to go down, and he was able to break the plane. And the 2-point conversion is good. That would make it 28-0.
Again, that second effort.
Mm-hmm.
And, in Courtland, their backs are the way they run. They got a low center of gravity. They'll use a stiff arm. They just keep pounding on you.
LaRue steps in at 6 feet in height and 224 pounds. He's a senior. I got a feeling he's pretty strong. That's
a big boy coming in and running, pounding when you're going to get 180-pound linebackers or safeties.
Mm-hmm. Well, 28-0 our score. 6.5 minutes to play here in the 4th quarter, and perhaps you said a lot, Steve, when you said it that the Blue Devils, maybe on their heels now.
Yeah. And
fatigue.
Is fatigue set in? Now they have next week. I think they got Caroline, right? All
right. So after today's game, next the Blue Devils will be in action on Friday at home to Caroline, which is Thursday lost to Eastern View 42-21.
And Caroline's vastly improved, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's going to be. I think that'll be another tough game for the Blue Devils, Steve.
Yeah, they got that good running back.
All right. Well, this broadcast brought to you in part by Found & Sons, more than a respected funeral home. They support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530. 6:30 to play in this one. 28-0 in favor of the visiting Courtland Cougars. This beautiful sunny day, late September. And I know a lot of us are really grateful just for the sunshine itself, aren't we? And Steve, here's a short kick. This one is fielded and retained out there for possession for the Blue Devils, and that was courtesy of number 25, Tyler Clavlaw.
All right, let's see what the Blue Devils can do here. Now's a chance. Maybe you want, do you want to play some other people, get some playing experience? I don't see it. I see they're just going back out there with their offense.
Now you see J.Q. Williams back in there. Jeremiah Johnson remains. You got a clean jersey there in number 23, Charlie Holland. He's in the game. He's wide right.
He's the brother of Joe Holland.
And they really stack up this left side, Steve. They're in an I formation wide, aren't they?
Yeah.
Straight I, straight line. But they go to the run. This is Williams fighting for yardage. Gets down to about the Courtland 45. Pick up a 7 or 8 yards on first down.
That's the way it should have been all game long with the Blue Devils. Just execute.
Yeah, I mean, I think you see more carries by Williams in this second half.
Mm-hmm.
Went to Vineyard, I would say, predominantly in the first half, didn't they?
Yeah, they sure did. But he's tired and even playing on defense.
Charlie Holland, top of your screen there. That's Garrett Damewood in motion. They give it to Williams. Williams wrestled down almost immediately near the line of scrimmage. Tackled by big number 73 of Courtland, and that was Adam Morello.
And we got another clean jersey in 28 for Culpeper.
All right, 28. Well, actually, isn't that Khalid Murray?
Yep.
Yeah. But he is, and he's going to be wide left.
I mean, they should be getting him the ball. He's the fastest player in the team.
Johnson swings it out to Caleb Green. Got away from the first defender, lowered his shoulder. He's going to be close to a Blue Devil first down. He was taken out of bounds by number 20, Amari Boxley.
Plus, he suffered a cramp. You know, he's out. It's a Courtland Cougar. They're going to give him the first down, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
See, that should be given. Where was that in the first half? I mean, you're not getting. If you're one of your best skill players is not getting the ball, you know, you have to offensively. You got to figure out, hey, here are my skill players. Who call the game accordingly to our strengths, not to our weaknesses.
Mm-hmm. The player there getting up on his feet was number 9 of Courtland State, Jamison Aiken.
Glad to see number 9, Jamison Aiken.
Yep.
Up on his own. Give him a round of applause on both sidelines. Jogging off on his own.
Man, it is the first down for the Blue Devils. Portland 42-yard line. 5:04 remaining. You're seeing the score there. So Blue Devils, I would say, may get some consolation if they can at least get on the scoreboard, Steve.
Yep.
To finish up this game late.
He had to go in with positive against Caroline.
Johnson, he's got time. He's throwing long. He's got Alvarado and drops it at the 5-yard line. And he was wide open, and he knows it. And that had touchdown written all over it, Steve.
He sure did.
Oh, wow.
Who was number 4? Is that Johnson?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, see, they gave him time.
Uh-huh.
And
he
showed
did
a pretty good
throw.
arm.
A good throw. That should have been 6.
Yep.
Alvarado usually doesn't drop those.
Well, he made that big catch against Fauquier, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
They won it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, go back this time, go to the other side, go with Green. That's a long throw to the other side, the right side.
All right, I've got the ball. I'm seeing it at the 42 of Portland. And 2nd down and 10 from there. Johnson, Damewood, motion. Johnson, pump fakes over the middle. This one nearly picked off. Threw that one in traffic, intended for Caleb Green, and the would-be thief on that play was Jamison Aiken.
Yeah, now see, that's where he's got to recognize Caleb's sitting there covered by, 3 or 4 players. Yep. You got to say, wait a minute.
Yeah, it was definitely thrown in traffic. You're right, Steve.
So if someone's covering him 3, there's got to be openings at the other receiver positions. That's where Johnson's got to look.
On 3rd and 10 now. Williams in the backfield with Johnson. Here comes Damewood. They pitch it to Williams. Looks for a block, makes a cut, and he gets it. Lowers his shoulder and picks up close to first down yardage for the Blue Devils, and he may be about a yard or 2 shy.
Yeah, the Blue Devils are going to go for it. They're not going to kick this away.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Now they're putting Vineyard back in for the tough yards.
He's going to be 2 yards shy. Well, this broadcast brought to you in part by CFC Farm and Home Center, supplying your lawn and garden, pet and farm needs since 1932. Hometown pricing and outstanding service at CFC Farm and Home Center, 825-2200. Okay. 4th down and 2. You're right. Vineyard in the backfield with Johnson. Do they go to Vineyard on this play? Here's Johnson throwing. This one incomplete. Vineyard was back there to block, and the pass was intended for Alvarado. And this one broken up, and now the Courtland Cougars will take over on downs.
Yeah, I thought Courtland got there a little early, Mark. A little early, but the official didn't make the call. So
turnover on downs, and now Courtland back on offense with a 28-0 lead.
Now Courtland, like I said, with the clock, and they're up, 28-0. You're just going to see run.
Unless they want to fake us out of our broadcasting socks.
I'm not wearing any.
Oh, well, then you can't be faked out. All right, Steve?
Yeah.
Well, discovered a new bug today. I live out in the country. I thought I'd seen most all of them, but now you showed me one I'd never seen before.
The lantern.
The lantern.
All right. Don't bite.
Back under center. Here's Christian Olivella trying to get to the outside. Almost does. He was a tackle shy of doing that. And that was R.J. Uribe making the solo tackle for the Blue Devils.
I mean, right now, like I said, the Blue Devils just some pride. Don't let them go down here and score.
Right. 6 yards on the carry by Christian Olivella. 2 touchdowns today for the Courtland Cougars. Apparent winners of today's game, which is the makeup from last night. Moved to today, which turned out to be sunny and pretty good conditions. Soggy field, but the players are getting through it. And straight ahead, the ball carrier, about a yard shy of a first down, and then this was LaRue, or actually Olivella on the ball carry. And maybe he got just enough to move the sticks.
Yeah, but they're gonna, I'm probably gonna see Courtland go to some players that haven't played. I see where Vineyard's come off. It's, he's tired. Came off on defense. Usually he doesn't come off the field, but.
Khalid Murray, one of the corners. He wears number 28. Well, if you're Courtland, you can just take your time and ride this one out, can't you?
Sure can.
1st and 10 now from the 44. And getting to the outside is Perry. And near another first down. And pushed out of bounds at that spot.
But there's looks like there's laundry on the field.
Wonder if maybe there was a late hit, perhaps?
I don't know. Let's see, is that just a piece of tape? I can't.
Yeah, maybe that's all it was.
To make their way to the exit once the game is over, that once everybody is out of the stadium, then we will dismiss the players.
It was a 12-yard pickup and a first down. Courtland has it now. 1st and 10 at the Culpeper 46. And I was just looking ahead, so we mentioned that Culpeper will be home to Caroline this coming Friday. Eastern View will be at North Stafford. Ball carrier right side, lowers his shoulder out to the Culpeper 40. That was Christian Olivella.
And you got to, Olivella's probably, got over 100 yards rushing, has to.
Mm-hmm.
And just the Culpeper just couldn't match up physically up front against Courtland. They just got out muscled both on both fronts, defense and offense. I'm talking about line play.
In Courtland, just really doing a good job of the clock management. They work it, and they haven't been getting any delay of game penalties, Steve.
No,
so they're working the clock well. You figure Olivella, he's got 2 touchdowns today. He gets the ball carry again, went to the right, made a cut, then turned upfield and picked up what looks like to be another Courtland first down.
Yeah, I mean, how would you like to be in the fourth quarter, tired and worn out, and Alvaro, Olivella just keeps pounding on you. It's
kind of what Jim Taylor used to do for the Packers, Steve. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's going back a few years.
That's in the 60s, middle 60s.
Yeah. And do you know Jim Brown is the reason Jim Taylor only won one rushing title?
That's right.
Because you played in the same era with Jim Brown, you're probably not going to win it.
That's true. Or Floyd Little.
Olivella, again, the ball carrier. They're just working. He's the workhorse. And again, Steve, as you pointed out, if you're the Blue Devil defense, you're probably tired of seeing number 2 at this point.
They're going to move the chains. And, let me see, 47 seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, our cheerleaders have been working hard all game long.
Yeah.
It's a first down, and what they're going to do now is probably just take a knee.
Yeah, up to the 26. Picked up 9 yards on the play. Now the clock runs. Time for one play. The way Courtland's running this, they're happy to use that clock. This is Perry trying it to the left. He's got a blocker out there. There goes Perry. He's headed to the end zone. Looks like he's made it from 26 yards out. The official says yes, and that'll make it 34-0 as Courtland puts the, would you say, the accent mark on this victory?
Yeah, and to me, I'll be honest with you, Mark, I didn't like that. Portland didn't have to go down there and score a touchdown. They could have just taken a knee, take the win.
Or go straight ahead and pick up a few more yards.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, just now you're going to make him kick off to Culpeper. Less than 17 seconds to go. And I bet you Coach Sherry's not too happy with that.
do before. On for the point after. This one's going to be botched on the snap and hold. This one thrown incomplete. So our score will remain 34-0 with that much time remaining. So you felt like, really, Steve, they should have played it more conservatively in terms of
sportsmanship. I mean, there was no reason to call that. I mean, of course kids want to score. I get it, okay? But you're up on a team by 28 points, 17 seconds to go, and you have second down. All you have to do is take a knee and say, here, end the ball to the ref, and we're, shake hands. To me, it just, I don't want to say it's Bush League, but yeah, I guess I am.
Our game this afternoon was Rob Martin.
Interesting. It's kind of hard to know about that. I mean, it would be more obvious to call if they just used a little trickery, did like a halfback option pass or something. Hey, we scored again. That's where it's more flagrant.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. I mean, you give the ball to a running back and he tries the outside. Where's your guy on the edge to stop it?
Well, that's true. You say make the tackle. I agree with that philosophy. But this, to me, there was no need for it. You're up 28 points with 17 seconds to go.
Yeah.
All you have to do is take a knee and hand the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, you're risking the player getting hurt or.
Mm-hmm. And this is where, listening to your argument, I don't say that you're wrong. I mean, I don't really. But it would have been an easier call to make if they'd used the razzle-dazzle. Yeah. Let's do the halfback option, and we can score this way on you at the end. This one is going to be fielded, looks like Williams, J.Q. Williams on the return. And the Blue Devils will have time for perhaps one play and to end this one here today at Broman Field.
Yep, and now it's going to be interesting to see what Culpeper is going to do.
Are you thinking hook and ladder?
No. I'm thinking just take a knee, get out of here, lick your wounds, and
wounds.
Live on for another day next week.
Well, you were saying that this loss, if Courtland's Class 4 doesn't hurt the Blue Devils in that sense. And then, of course, like you say, they play Caroline. Where do we have Caroline classified, if you know right now?
They're 4.
They're 4.
This year, yeah.
Okay. Caroline is Culpeper's next opponent. And you're watching what may be the very last play of this game today on Saturday, September 28th at Broman Field, where Johnson winds up and throws it downfield. And there's Murray going up for it and making the nice catch. And there may be time for one more play after all.
Good catch there by Murray right there. Good ball by Johnson. Caleb went up and got it, but now you got...
Steve, he really threw it where Murray could make the catch, didn't he? He went up and made a nice one.
Well, now this 6 seconds ago, this got to go in the end zone. And maybe that might take the sting out of this defeat. I don't know.
Well, why not? If you throw it to the end zone and you catch it, hey, we scored.
Yeah.
It
wasn't a shutout.
Yeah, that sort of thing. You averted a shutout, and you're still playing as though, look, you can win this game. When you can't, but you play as though you play it through the final whistle. All right, here's Johnson. Protection holds up. He's throwing it. This one high up in the air, and this is going to be picked off near the goal line. And on the return there is Courtland's number 20 on the interception, and that was Amari Boxley, and that's how today's game is going to end. Our score 34-0 in favor of Courtland. Well, Steve, let's wrap it up briefly for our viewing audience. And what's your summation?
Summation was Courtland. It just came. They used their wing tee attack, and basically they dominated on both lines of scrimmage, defense and offense. Can't take anything away from Courtland. Culpeper, they had some good moments at times, but again, their own worst enemy with penalties. And they just didn't execute like they usually do. And so I would say the theme for Culpeper, poor execution, and for Courtland, well-played game. They did what they wanted to do.
All right, enjoyed calling it with you, Steve. Once again, that'll do it for us today at Broman Field, where our final score, Cougars 34, Blue Devils nothing. For Johnny and Steve, I'm Mark O'Connell saying thanks for watching and supporting Blue Devils football here on the Culpeper Media Network. We hope you enjoy your weekend, and we believe that our next game may be on the road at North Stafford and Eastern View. Until then, so long, everybody. Take care. We'll see you next time.
This broadcast is made possible by the generosity of our community sponsors.
Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. CFC Farm and Home Center, supplying your lawn and garden, pet, and farm needs since 1932. Hometown pricing and outstanding service at CFC Farm and Home. Found in Sons Funeral Home, Culpeper's perpetual best of the best for resources, planning, and support for our entire community. Battlefield Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford, proudly serving the Culpeper community for over 20 years. State-of-the-art service departments and over 22 acres with hundreds of new and pre-owned vehicles. Battlefield Automotive. Nominations are now being accepted for the local area sports Hall of Fame. Nominate anyone that you feel is deserving of historical local sports recognition at localsportshistory.com/HOF.